Go now.
I'm Nick Sainert. In the NFL, the Indianapolis Colts announced that quarterback Carson Wentz and Quentin Nelson are both trending to play in Week 1, despite going through recent foot surgeries. Staying with the Colts, head coach Frank Reich and general manager Chris Ballard both had their contracts extended through the 2026 season. In college football, Clemson quarterback DJ Uiagalelei has partnered with Dr. Pepper for a commercial ad campaign. In the NBA, Dennis Schroeder agreed to a one-year, $5.9 million deal with the Celtics after turning down an extension worth over $80 million with the Lakers during the regular season. In Major League Baseball, the Brewers took both games of the doubleheader on Tuesday against the Cubs at Wrigley. Salvador Perez homered twice in the Royals' 8-4 win over the Yankees. The Tampa Bay Rays extended their divisional lead with an 8-4 win at Fenway Park against the Red Sox. And lastly, both Corey Seager and Max Muncy homered for Los Angeles to help them end Philadelphia's 8-game winning streak with a 5-0 shutout win on the road. For our latest sports news and updates, keep it tuned right here to 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the DP and Stevens Show, live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Derek Pearson.
Do you know who I am? I'm kind of a big deal.
Tom Stevens.
I must break you.
You're listening to the DP and Stevens Show, brought to you by Tracy's Collision Center.
Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Hello. How are you?
Look at you. It's Tom Stevens.
Hey, I can't see you. I'm looking at the video camera right now. You look fantastic.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm just trying to be like you when I grow up.
That's a big hill to climb.
Good
luck on that one.
You know, you have what you have. I can aspire to that. Look, that's the whole lane. That's the whole lane. Yeah. So welcome back. And here's Tom. It hit me. It literally just hit me. I'm not going to be here tomorrow and Friday. And Bach will come in.
Thanks for telling me.
Bach will come in and fill the chair. But this is the last official DP and Stevens with DP and Stevens.
It's great that the new show starts. It sucks that the old show is ending. And I said this, and I do love you. And a lot of people think that we have some sort of riff going. I do love you to death. I mean, we've gotten to know each other so well, and I think I've grown leaps and bounds just by listening to the way you conduct yourself every day on the air. I've said it so many times, you're the best interviewer that I've ever worked with, and I've definitely taken that away. But it's not like the last show we're ever going to do together. I mean, we've got like 19 shows to fill on the station. I'm sure we're going to run into each other from time to time.
Yeah, we'll do the Husker pre-games together. We'll do all that stuff. But as far as DP and Stevens, it hit me. I got a little sad.
I'm very sad.
You know, it's been quite the journey, and everybody knows. Like, there are folks that think that like somehow they need to defend you from me, and I'm like, do you guys not understand?
No.
You guys,
we should have a video camera in the car on the drive home sometime. That would be a show right there.
Yeah. Well, we said the day we go off air, there's some things we could probably share with people.
That's right. That'd be our very last show.
Yeah.
As a station.
Yeah.
So let's not do that.
Yeah. Literally going off the air. We've got a full show for you. We had to make some changes in the schedule. So what we're going to do now, let's talk some volleyball. Let's bring in Jalen Reyes.
So we want you to just work on vision. So I'm going to ask him what you see. Okay? So I just want you to be honest. Don't think, Jen's looking for a specific answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Free ball. Shaftmaster. Guess what? She went to Samity. But guess what? The Huskers all over it.
I want hey, mano y mano, I'm going to dive hard. And if I'm wrong, I'm 100% wrong. I'm not 50-50 in the middle because I probably won't be right either way. Yeah. But if I'm right, it's the old Mariano Rivera. Fastball and cutter, you're a Hall of Famer.
Do what you do well, and it's that time. We actually, through all of these interviews and all the weeks of working, doing the show with us, finally on Saturday, I got to meet Jalen Reyes. Let's bring in Husker volleyball assistant Jalen Reyes. Coach, how you doing today, brother?
Good, fellas. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let me say this. There's sometimes you meet people and you go, okay, they're not what you expect them to be. Jalen, I say this with the most humble humanity in me. It's not fair for you to be such a great coach and be such a good person and be that good looking. It's just not fair,
That's
man.
got to stop. That's got to stop.
I don't know about all three of those things, but I'll take it.
The trifecta.
It was a busy day, and it was kind of fun to see you in your environment, right? Just to see you as a coach, and then for me, it's watching your interaction with the players and how players approach you, how players feel settled and comfortable around you, and then how the coaches interact with you. I'm not sure are you aware of how comfortable your players are around you, and maybe is that on purpose?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's certain roles, right? I think players tend to feel maybe a little more comfortable around their assistant coaches than maybe their head coach. I think that's probably. I would bet that would be an agreement with a lot of sports. Probably helps that I'm very similar age to a lot of our players. But I don't know if I'm as aware. I get that a lot from other people. So I don't know if I'm 100% aware of it, but I guess that's a good thing, right?
I guess that's got to make you a good recruiter, right? I mean, that's that you're not aware of the impact that you have on these girls, but obviously Nebraska's assembling #1 recruiting classes, and you're one of the big reasons for it. What do you attribute that to?
I don't know, to be honest. I think I would say one, growing up in Hawaii, you just get to meet a bunch of different people. My dad was a college coach, and I always used to see him just, being really easy to get along with people and talk to people. And I think I just try to model that, not in just recruiting, but just in everyday life. So I would say probably that I would probably attribute to.
Coach, it's you get to work with and for one of the legendary coaches in one of the legendary programs. John Cook said a thing Saturday that last year we simply weren't good enough. It's unacceptable. How much of that is carried into a daily message for you guys?
Oh, I mean, everything is kind of off that basis of, do we want, we need to be better as a staff, as a team, as individuals, because if we want to get to where we want to get to, and if we don't want to experience what that felt like last year, if we do the same things, obviously we're not going to get to where we need to get to. So each and every day, there's a constant reminder of, from how we block to how we pass to, how we do things, wasn't to the standard that we hold ourselves to. So, you can see it each and every day, and it makes its way into all these things we've been doing so far.
Jalen, it's official. Lauren Stivrins is coming back, the All-American, the team captain from last year, even though she won't be team captain this year. What went into the decision for her, and why did it take so long?
I think a lot of it was just her health a little bit, and then some school stuff. But a lot of it was just health and her trying to figure out what she wants to do with her next step. I don't know if most people know this. This will be her 6th year on the volleyball team. She redshirted her freshman year, and then her last 4 years. So it's not like she's even doing the 5th year. She's taking a 6th year, and I think a lot of it was just, what she wanted to do. And I think at the end of the day, what we told her was, Lauren, you should make the best decision for you and you only, and of course we'd love to have you back, obviously, but, we want you back if you want to be back, not just because, we feel like, hey, obviously we'd be a better volleyball team with you here. But we want you to be back for the right reasons. And, we're happy to have her back for sure.
It was interesting to listen to your three of the star players sitting up front and speaking to, not only are they going to are they going to have to push the incoming class, but that they will be pushed by the incoming class. How much, is that going to be purposeful as well? Do you put your veterans versus your young people to kind of pull them and reset the standard?
Oh yeah. I think the great thing about having a freshman class with a lot of kids coming back it creates a ton of competition. And honestly, this is the most depth we've had since I've been at Nebraska. This is year 4 for me. So in terms of depth at every position, we have good volleyball players all around the gym. Some players are ahead of another, but everybody's able to compete at this level. And I think it's just at the end of the day, there's not going to be any free rides. And, if you're going to get to play this year, you're going to earn it, because there's going to be a couple of people right behind you that are going to kind of hold you accountable to, hey, if you want to consistently find court time, you're going to have to perform, just because, in years past, we've had injuries or we maybe had lack of depth at other positions. But we feel like this year, ever since I've been here, this is the deepest team we've had.
Obviously, Coach K is never going to say I have too much talent, or Nick Saban is never going to say I have too much talent. But the competition, you better show up on a daily basis, or you could lose your gig. But how do you grade that, knowing that, sometimes somebody might be injured or just not having a good day? How do you balance that with knowing who's the best player and who's playing the best?
Yeah, I think it's a over a long period of time thing. And as a coach, I think coaches and people understand that everyone, at the end of the day, everyone has an average, right? And we kind of talk about we want your average to be really good. Because we understand some people are going to have really, really good days and some people are going to have really bad. The only thing is we want to make sure, the difference between the two aren't so few, and you spend more time pushing the average up, So we feel like over a long period of time, we get a feel of like, okay, who's the most consistent volleyball player? And then we try to make that better and push the average, What we don't want, honestly, we probably don't want a really, really good day followed by a really bad day. We just want you to be good over a long period of time. And the players that can just be good, obviously have a great game once in a while. Those are the players that are going to win for us. And I would say the best player that I coached since I've been at Nebraska, again, only 3 seasons in the past, was Michaela Fecky. And obviously Michaela Fecky was, she would have her great nights. But just overall, her bad nights or not so good games were still really good games. And, as a coach, you could rely on Michaela to be really good each and every night. And that's kind of what we're hoping to achieve with all of our players. We don't need you to be, unbelievable every single day. We just need you to be really good over a long period of time, and that will lead to you being great, if that makes sense. But it's not one great day it's going to make you this great player. It's going to be a lot of really good to great days. It's going to make you a really great player. So we're just looking for consistency, and we have a bigger sample size than some of the older girls, and some of the new girls, we're all the way to day 3 with them. So it's overall we're trying to just build and see and just try to keep working with it.
Jalen, the way that you guys grade out averages in game performance, does that also happen in practice performance as well? Is that a pre-practice, post-practice, or maybe kind of a thing that's sent out later to them in the evening that, hey, here are the stats from today's practice. Here's what we're working with.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's something we talk about. We have a pre-practice meeting as a staff, and then a post-practice meeting to kind of debrief how practice was and talk about what we thought. Then we compare numbers and who won drills and stuff like that. So all of that goes into it, and we have conversation with players. Maybe we don't necessarily send out the whole stat sheet because it can kind of get a little muddled, but we try to kind of keep them accountable and kind of let them know, make sure they know where they're at, in terms of performance-based stuff.
Jalen Reyes is our guest, Nebraska volleyball assistant. Well, the U.S. just won its first gold medal in women's volleyball. Of course, it includes 3 former Huskers. Justine Wong Arantes played really well as a libero. I think she was voted the best libero in that tournament. Obviously, the captain is Jordan Larson. You had Kelsey Robinson. Is that something that you're going to recruit to? And how big of a deal is this for women's volleyball that the U.S. won the gold?
I think, second question, I'm going to tag along with the fact that April Ross and Alex Kleiman, 2 American beach players, female beach players, they won the gold medal in beach volleyball too. Tyler Hildebrand was their coach for that. So the fact that the United States, the 2 gold medals that were available in beach volleyball and indoor volleyball the United States won. I think it's huge for this country. I think the sport is growing. I mean, not I think, I know the sport is growing. I think the last time we talked about like the gene pool of a volleyball improving. And I think the fact that that is happening, it kind of leads into, us winning gold medals in beach volleyball and indoor volleyball on the female side. And I think this group, especially with like the fact that all the social media club they got, I think those girls are going to be huge in terms of like inspiring other really young athletes, the great athletes, to, hey, like we should play volleyball because I want to be the next Jordan Larson or the next Alex Klein or the next April Ross or the next Justine Wong-Arantes. I think it was huge in terms of both indoor and beach. The United States won. What answer your recruiting question? Yeah, we've been pumping that for years, and it's huge that you have 3 Huskers winning the gold medal. You have Justine winning the best libero award. Jordan's voted the best outside hitter and the most valuable player of the Olympics. We've been pumping that hard before. We're not going to shut up about this for the next 3 years about this. We talk about, we try to recruit the athletes that want to play on that team. So the fact that we already had 3 out of the 12, 2016, we had 3 out of the 12. The fact that John and Tyler, I think, for us, the pinnacle for our sport is the Olympics. And a lot of the players we tend to recruit, a lot of the best players in the country, they play on the USA youth and junior national teams, and those are the pipelines to get to the women's national team and get to the Olympics. We think those things go hand in hand, and we feel like, hey, the training we provide here at Nebraska, in terms of numbers of athletes that have been put on that team the last 2 Olympics, you can't argue. What program sent the most athletes to the national team and to the Olympics. So that's something we pump. In almost every email, it's about how many Olympians we've had in the last 2 or 3 Olympics. So, long story short, it's huge, and that's something we've been pumping for a long time now.
Jalen, what happens with that kind of success, like that kind of recruiting success, that kind of international success, is more exposure. And we figured out that the more you expose something good, the more people follow to it. And there will be 15 Husker volleyball games on the Big Ten Network this year. How much thought do you guys give to that? Is that more important to coaches? Is it more important to players? Or is that strictly for the fans?
I think it's great. I think it's all the above. Coaches is awesome because, again, we're preparing our girls. We talked to them about you guys are the most followed volleyball team in the world. And, I think the TV thing kind of brings some light to that of like, hey, nobody's going to be televised more than you this year. In terms of recruits, it's awesome just because it helps us get a national reach. Big Ten volleyball is huge. Every recruit from Hawaii to overseas to the East Coast, here in the Midwest, to Texas, to up to Chicago, everybody follows Big Ten volleyball. And if you're on TV, it's easier to follow. And, for recruiting, it's awesome because it helps us reach even more people, more households, more families, more clubs. More about Nebraska volleyball, we'll get to have more opportunities to find out about us. And, Big Ten volleyball, I talked to coaches in California. They follow they watch BTN, Big Ten volleyball and Big Ten Network more than they do even the Pac-12, and I think that's huge in terms of trying to branch out our recruiting, for families that, we have kids not from the Midwest that are on our team now. It's huge for them because, mom and dad can watch you play pretty easily without having to pay for all these different subscriptions or, watch kind of internet feeds. It's easy for us. It's just the more access, it just gets us out there. And I think that's the other thing. That's the 3 that just went to the Olympics. It just gets Nebraska volleyball out there, and it just opens up another avenue for Nebraska volleyball to get to where maybe they wouldn't get to, but because of the simplicity of TV, sometimes we can kind of attract the 10-year-old volleyball player that's going to be the best in the country. I can't tell you how many kids we talked to that we fell in love with Nebraska volleyball just because we got to watch them play so much. And I think the fact that we're going to be on TV a lot this year is going to be huge.
Yeah, 13 times on BTN. You're going to be on ESPN, ESPNU. That doesn't even include NET. So, yeah, lots of Husker volleyball on TV this year. This is something that we talk about in the NBA a lot. I wonder if the conversation drifts to volleyball at all. Coming off the spring season and now going right into fall, do you guys ever discuss load management with the team?
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of been preaching that for a long time now. Coach Cook does a really good job of even tapering his practices to that. We monitor, we have all the verts and stuff on top of the girls, checking how they're doing, checking the recovery, checking how many jumps they're taking in practice, swings in practice. We do a lot of that already. I think not as much as basketball or football because of the natures of the sport in terms of you're not making physical contact with people on the most part. But yeah, no, that's a huge thing for us. And I think that's another big thing of why this year is super important in terms of having a ton of depth, because we have a bunch of players that can compete at this level. And just, and we have girls that, we're playing this summer with the U.S. national team and U.S. women's junior team. And then we had some, obviously we had a bunch of players that were playing last spring, but I think load management is something we already do pretty well here at Nebraska. I think this year is going to be super important for it.
It's also interesting with load management and preparedness. The recovery time is the missed factor. And for me, for great teams, great programs, they have a better understanding of recovery. And how much emphasis is put on that tells me where a program stands. What's your philosophy on the proper recovery? Is it the same for everybody? Do you guys specialize it based on the player? How do you guys handle it?
Oh, it's huge, and we do specialize it based on the player. Obviously, you have the generic. We talk about sleep. We talk about cooling down and warming up. We talk about all the prehab stuff you do in the training room, and post-practice stuff you do in the training room. That stuff's huge for us. I mean, we spend almost as much time talking about that that's part of being an athlete than, serving and passing and playing. Like that stuff is equally as important. We feel like we're one of the programs that does it right. And we feel like kind of a testament to that is Jordan Larson. She's 34 years old. Coach Cook jokes around with some of our girls like, she's old enough to be some of your mom. And look at her now, the MVP of the Olympic Games. And, we talk about, well, how does that happen? Well, obviously she has to have the volleyball skills to do it. She needs to have the drive. She needed to learn how to take care of herself a long time ago. And we felt like she kind of learned some stuff at Nebraska, and obviously she learned some stuff playing professionally, but we try to model that. And in terms of, hey, if you want to be where Jordan Larson is, going to your third Olympics and winning, your third Olympic medal, one huge thing for you is to make sure, hey, your body can last that long. And recovery is, honestly just as important, right? What do they say? They talk about pro football player ability is your availability, and the fact that Jordan Larson has been available for her team, whether it's the national team, Nebraska, or whatever pro team she's playing on. The fact that she's been available for now, she's 34, 16 years, is pretty unreal. And I think, of course, hey, she can hit, she can pass, she can serve. But the one thing she always did was she's always at her physical shape in the biggest times. And, this Olympics, so you could see it strong as the Olympics went along. And I don't maybe know her recovery and her workout, her conditioning regimen, but I'm assuming obviously it was good enough to become, voted the best player at the best tournament.
Well, Coach,
huge for us at Nebraska, and that's something we spend a lot of time talking about too.
She is 34. She's got 3 medals, her first gold. She's getting married, I guess, in a few weeks or so. But do you think she'll be tempted to come back for another Olympics, or could she?
I don't know. I know I'm hearing she's going to go back to. I think it's China, Japan to play pro this fall sometime. I think it's going to be a little later, like October. She'll go back, so she'll take some time off. I'm assuming for volleyball. I don't know. Just the fact that it's only 3 years away and I'm saying this as obviously a Husker fan, and I know Jordan personally, and just obviously being an American volleyball coach. I hope she does give another. It's going to be, if there's somebody that could do it, it's her. Just because of her makeup and her mindset, and obviously her skill. I think it also helps. She's also I know her fiance or her soon-to-be husband Dave Hunt. He's a volleyball coach as well. So obviously volleyball stays in the family there, and. I don't know. I don't think I've read some articles. She says, to quote her, she thinks she's done. Obviously, we want her to come out and play for the next couple of years, and Olympics is just one more than a couple of years away. So we'll see.
Yeah, well, we're all rooting for it. Before we let you go quickly, what's the next big target date for women's volleyball?
Next big target date is a couple of Saturdays. The red-white game for us. Each day here in Nebraska is big, but the red-white game is kind of what it's crazy how the state supports it. It's been sold out ever since I've been here, and that's kind of be the first measuring stick for us in terms of being able to do some stuff live to see where we're actually at. And we can't wait for it, and we're excited, and we got a lot of stuff to do to get better at before that, but that's kind of one thing we're looking forward to.
Coach, good stuff all around. Again, it was a pleasure to be able to actually give you a hug face to face. Long overdue. Rooting for what you do, and then there should be something in your email today. So keep an eye out if you don't mind.
Perfect.
Stocking.
Good stuff. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. Jayla Reyes there, Nebraska volleyball assistant. Should have probably talked a little bit more about Tyler Hildebrand bringing home the gold in beach volleyball. That's something you could recruit to, I'm guessing, as well. That was really cool. The Olympics, man, for a while it felt like the U.S. was struggling a little bit, but they really ended with a storm. That was awesome.
Good stuff, good finishes all around. And the exposure of these top athletes, some of the best athletes in the world. The more they get known, the more exposure they're going to get. It's good stuff all around. We'll throw it to break. We come back. Hey, Tom, what's your 10 today, bro?
It is best NFL storylines going into the season.
Nice.
How about that?
Nice.
Let's go. That's next on DP and Stevens.
More of the DP and Stevens Show is coming your way on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Security First Bank. We're the bank, and we make your mortgage more manageable with flexible terms, trusted advice, and competitive rates. When you work with us, we'll know your name, but we'll also get to know your home dreams too. Security First Bank of Lincoln. Voted best small bank in Nebraska by Newsweek magazine. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 505011.
Meet Joe Smith.
Hello.
I've heard you're a very daily person.
I get up at 6 a.m. every day. I drive to work at 8 a.m. every day. I eat lunch at noon every day. I get home at 5:30 p.m. every day. And I go to bed at 10 p.m. every day.
Joe, how about adding just one more activity to your daily schedule?
Wow, I'd really have to think about that.
On the way home from work every day, why not stop at a Nebraska Lottery retailer and buy some lotto tickets? You can choose from daily draw games like Nebraska Pick 5, 2x2, Nebraska Pick 3, and My Day. Winning big money could really add some excitement to your day.
That might mean I get home at 5:35 p.m. every day.
Live dangerously, Joe.
You're right. I'm going for it. Right after my daily bowl of oatmeal.
Play daily draw lotto games for the Nebraska Lottery. Choose from Nebraska Pick 5, 2x2, Nebraska Pick 3, or My Day. Better yet, play all four. Top prize odds vary by game.
Did you know Myers Cork and Bottle offers complete beverage catering and bartending services for everything from tailgates to weddings? Learn more at myerswine.com or by calling the shop at 476-1518. And don't miss Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer, Thursdays at 4:30 on The Drive.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Shaping up to be another hot day as a heat advisory will be in effect again this afternoon. We'll top out near 94. It will feel more over 100 due to the humidity. Winds eventually turning out the northeast at 10 to 15. We'll drop to 68 for the low tonight. Be back up to 93 tomorrow with a slight chance of evening thunderstorms. That's a check of your forecast. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At MD Pain, we know chronic pain is a problem. It can lead to isolation, depression, and the inability for you or a loved one to live the life you want. That doesn't need to happen. Chronic pain can be effectively managed. The doctors of MD Pain wrote the book on effective, ethical pain management. Get actual solutions with the most up-to-date, clinically proven treatment options available. No one has to suffer in silence. Get real treatment for chronic pain. Call MD Pain.
At Koppel, you can shop online for the most affordable crossovers, SUVs, cars, and trucks. They have new Chevrolet and GMC or used inventory, all at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Sean Callahan, and before I got my car at Koppel, I shopped online at koppelcars.com. I found a vehicle I liked, then I drove that money-saving mile to Koppel in Louisville. You should too. It was just minutes from I-80 or at koppelcars.com.
Amigo's new Crunchadilla has the crunch you'll crave. Your taste buds will come alive when you bite into this crispy salsa tortilla that's loaded with melted pepper jack and cheddar, along with your choice of taco meat, Southwest chicken, or grilled chicken. The deliciousness continues with bacon bits, Amigo's famous ranch, fresh pico de gallo, and crispy tortilla strips. This Crunchadilla is a grab-and-go meal all by itself. Conquer your cravings with the Crunchadilla, only at Amigo's. Taco making is a team sport. Here at Amigos, we want you to join our roster of the most talented taco artists in Nebraska. When you work at Amigos, you'll be on a team of people who have each other's backs. We offer a fast-paced, friendly work environment and flexible scheduling to fit your busy life. Join our team, meet your Amigos, and become a customer service expert, all while furthering your career. Be Amigos. Apply today at AmigosKings.com.
Back to the DP and Steven Show, brought to you by Tracy's Collision Center on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yeah.
Welcome back. And yes, Tom Stevens is back with us today, and it's the last time we will officially be together. I won't be here Thursday or Friday. Bach will step in and give you guys will have a preview of the Tom and Bach show. So looking forward to hearing that. You know, even as I travel, I'm still going to track it and get a little preview of the show to come.
Can you say where you're going? Is this another book signing thing?
No, this is me and the wife getting away for one weekend,
one last hurrah
before football season.
Smart move.
You know, that's just us. Of course, you know, I talked her into going to watch. So we're going to Minneapolis, and I talked her into going to watch the Vikings and the Broncos.
Oh, nice. So you get your way again. Nicely done.
Spoiled rotten. Yeah, I'm gonna we're gonna watch the Twins and the Devil Rays on Friday. We're going to Paisley Park, which is my first trip into seeing all things Prince. You know, go do that, and then the Vikings, and I'll have an upfront report for you on how your Vikings look, Tom.
I'm not optimistic. I mean, I think the running game will be fine. I think they've improved the offensive line. I think the defense will be improved, which was just a disaster last year. But they're not going to win that division.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because the Broncos, I get the impression that the Broncos will in fact show their number ones quite a bit. They want to get the work in and kind of coast into week 3 of the preseason. Some folks are front loading, some are back loading. They are front loading. I'm not sure what the Vikings will do, but that's what we're going to do. And we'll talk a little bit of NFL right now.
Yeah, let's do it. Here's the 10.
Tom's 10.
Probably the final Tom's 10 ever. We'll probably do it maybe a couple more days, but that would be just about it. By the way, the Vikings and the Broncos didn't make my list. Stunning information.
Those are your boys, man. Like Kirk Cousins isn't. You mean it's not the lead story in the NFL?
Well, I mean, if it were a bad news list, then he might be on it. But we'll see. I mean, I'm mildly optimistic that we could be better this year. Maybe 9-7, something along that line for the Vikings. Okay. Number 10, These are the top 10 storylines of the offseason and heading into the season for me.
Okay.
Quarterbacks becoming GMs. Whether it's Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, we saw it last year with Brady. Quarterbacks, if you're the franchise, you have a lot more power, it feels like, in the NFL.
Yeah.
Of getting your own way.
Yeah.
You saw that even a little bit with Deshaun Watson. We'll see where he ends up. Tied with that, I've got Daniel. I'm interested in Daniel Jones and Jalen Hurts. Are either of them any good? I'm not sure.
I need them for them personally to both be bad.
Yes, you do, because you're in that division. You are in that division, but you probably wouldn't want either as your quarterback. Maybe you would. I don't know.
No.
No. Daniel Jones last year, 29 interceptions and fumbles combined. Actually, the last 2 years. When you combine the last 2 years, he has led the league, I believe, in interceptions and fumbles combined. So he needs to clean that up, and maybe he'll get some help this year. At number 9, I've got Dak being back. Coming back from the shoulder injury, getting all the money despite the injury. I'm interested to see. He looks ripped. He looks like he's in great shape. But the Cowboys are always, I don't buy them being America's team. They certainly aren't for me. But they are intriguing. There's always a storyline. I guess that's why you see them featured. What's the HBO show?
Did you catch last night's edition?
I missed the HBO show. What is that called?
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks. Okay.
So
it's
to
only
tell
been on
you,
for 30 years.
Tom, to tell you that one, it's spectacular, but they went back and showed the injury, Dak's injury, which looked way worse now than it did then. I looked at it and just went, wow. It'll be an interesting season for Hard Knocks, but Dak has either tendonitis or he's got a shoulder issue already. Yeah. And they had to sit him out of practice. It was interesting to watch. Like I said,
did they deal at all with the Pittsburgh game?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They went in. They highlighted Michael Parsons from Penn State. A lot of camera time for Jerry Jones, McCarthy, basically the 5. It had Parsons, Dak, and Zeke. Those are the ones that got the feature of the time last night.
Well, I did record it. I haven't watched it as of yet. Hard Knocks on HBO. Number 8. I'm very interested in both the Browns and the Bills. I think those two teams might have among the best rosters in the entire NFL. Of course, the Browns coming off a playoff loss to Kansas City. The Bills with Josh Allen, who's really making a move. I think both those two rosters have the ability to, get at least to the second round of the playoffs. And the Browns looked pretty good for a while against the Chiefs in the playoffs last year. Number 7 on my list, top storylines heading into the season. I've got Matthew Stafford. I really am interested to see what he can do for the LA Rams. Obviously, they made the swap with Detroit for quarterbacks. Jared Goff is now with Detroit. Matthew Stafford at 33 will take over as the franchise there. It felt like Sean McVay just got sick of babysitting Jared Goff and never saw a real future with him. They did make a Super Bowl, but I'm interested to see how far they can get with Matthew Stafford at quarterback.
It's pretty weird to have a coach say that you got me the Super Bowl, but you're not my guy.
Yeah, and then they gave him a bunch of money, and then they let him go.
Not my guy.
It's not my guy. Let's try this guy, Matthew Stafford, who has all the stats, but none of the resume that Jared Goff has.
I don't get it.
We'll see. I like Stafford. I think he's got a big arm.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if he's the real deal. Now you put him on a team.
We just lost Tom.
Did we lose me?
There you go. You're back. Okay. You just broke out.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're
all right.
You went out for a second.
Number 6, best storylines going in to the regular season of the NFL. I've got just the young quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, all of those guys with, especially Trevor Lawrence and hooked up with Urban Meyer and all that young talent. I don't believe Zach Wilson is the real deal. I don't think he's very good. And he gets to go to the Jets, which is just pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
But that could be fun to watch.
Train wreck.
And the train wreck could be great. So I'm embracing that part of it. Justin Fields, I do believe in, but he's got to go to Chicago. Then you've got not just those guys. You got Trey Lance who wins that gig? Is it Jimmy G? Is it Trey Lance? I don't think it'll be Lance, for game 1, but it could be by game 5.
I don't think it takes long. The reports are that Lance is the real deal.
Yeah. Well, you just wonder about, the North Dakota State thing, and how does that transfer? I mean, it did for a while for Carson Wentz, but not for the long haul for Carson Wentz. And now Carson Wentz is injured.
Yep.
But Mac Jones with New England is also a great curiosity. I don't think he'll be the starter to start the season either, but just the young quarterbacks, I think, are a big storyline for the NFL. Number 5, speaking of young quarterbacks, where does Deshaun Watson land?
Wow. We don't know.
He can't be a Texan for very much longer, can he?
Well, we don't know if he doesn't end up in jail.
That's true. I mean,
we really don't.
If you were to take that bet, he stays with the Texans. He's a Dolphin. He ends up in Washington or someplace like that, or jail. What bet would you take?
I have no idea. I wouldn't touch it with a pole.
Yeah,
I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch it. It's just too bananas.
But if you were to rank the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL just on talent, he'd be in there.
Just
maybe
on talent, top 10. Yeah,
maybe top 5.
Well,
top 5 certainly. Last 2 years ago, we would have easily said top 5 for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, and that's without distraction. That's without all the other things leaning on you, all the things dragging at your coattail.
Well, forget about that, because he's going to have distractions galore wherever he goes.
Yes, he is. There's
that's the thing. Yeah, you'd have to consider that if you want him. Number 4, the 2019 MVP, Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Does he continue to progress as a passer? He looks great, and then the playoffs happen. And I don't think it's all his fault. I don't believe that. But sometimes he does lack a little touch and accuracy. And I think he could use some weapons around him at wide receiver. Marquise Brown is good. Who else you got? Go get some weapons for that dude. I think he could really use them. Number 3, the best stories of the offseason for me, I've got the Kansas City Chiefs. How do they rebound after that disappointing Super Bowl loss?
Ooh.
Frank Clark has some legal issues. Tyreek Hill is there. Kelsey is there. And then who? I guess you got Sammy Watkins.
They got issues, man.
Yeah.
Well, you got the change in the coaching staff with Andy Reid's son. So.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And you just spent $500 million on one guy. It doesn't always leave you. I know a lot of that's deferred. But outside of the offense, it doesn't feel like they still have enough on defense, and that offensive line is somewhat suspect.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
Number 2, this is the best stories heading into the regular season. I want to know if Brady can do it again at the age of 78. Can Brady do it again?
Yes. Have you seen him?
He looks like he's had plastic surgery for the entire offseason. Doesn't he?
He's hanging out with LeBron at the barbershop, man. This is Tom Brady is reborn.
He looks happier than I've ever seen him. Did you see him at the Peyton Manning speech?
Yeah, dude's an
Hall
alien.
of Fame induction.
He's an alien.
He is younger than all of us combined. I don't even know what that means. But he's way young. He's getting younger every day. And number 1, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has got to be number 1 on everybody's list. Of course, that crazy interview that he did, airing out his dirty laundry with management, with the press. He basically called out everyone on the management side. And now he's got his guy. He's got Randall Cobb. He's got Devontae Adams. But he's also making $46 million. And he's 38 years old.
How much is that? How much did you say?
$46 million.
Like a 4 and a 6 together.
Yeah. You talk about not being able to pay anybody else on the roster.
4 to 6 together.
Yeah. I mean, he got it. But I just wonder, will he even make it through the year? Do you think he'll make it through the year in Green Bay?
See, I don't want to wish that on. I don't wish injuries on anybody, but it seems to me that the karma thing will jump into play. Like karma will tell us who was right, whether it was the coaching staff and the administration or was it Aaron Rodgers.
Right. Didn't it happen to Mahomes a little bit with the MVP, and then you kind of come back to earth a little bit. I still think there's probably some fuel to the fire there. I think he wants to prove everybody wrong. But man, sometimes there is a thing called karma. I think that could happen to Rodgers.
$46 million. Like, and by the way, Mahomes doesn't live with us on this planet. Mahomes at $50 million a year lives in a different stratosphere.
Like he's an alien.
Yeah, it's not. That's not how that's going to be. Before you get out of this, is there a rookie that jumps out to you more than others?
Well, I think the curiosity of Trevor Lawrence. I really wonder. I mean, I think he has all the tools, but I don't think he's the next Patrick Mahomes. But Urban Meyer saw something there to the point where he didn't even sniff at Justin Fields, his old quarterback.
Right.
What about you? I mean, who do you have a lot of curiosity in?
I saw only because you saw him last week, but Najee Harris with the Steelers.
Yeah. You want him to be a top 5 pick in the draft.
Look, he's Derrick Henry reborn. Like, what are we waiting for? Like, why would people doubt the guy that made Alabama? Like, for all the other skill position guys, it was Najee Harris that gave them foundation and boundary. Like, he was.
And how did would the Steelers get him with like the 23rd pick?
Yes,
or something like that?
It's just like Mike Tomlin's sitting over his hands. He's rubbing his hands together.
Laughing.
Like, oh, you're going to give me the Alabama tailback to put in this offense with Ben? Yeah.
Thank you. Good night.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's how that looks. That's where we are. Thanks, bro.
Yep.
Good list.
Yep. Thanks, man. Wingman is
Wingman is next. No.
Wait. The show hasn't gone that fast.
No, Blog
It's Blog Jog. It's Blog Jog, and we'll do it next.
You're listening to the DP and Stevens Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. There are fans, and then there's you. You live it. You breathe it. You want to soak it all in. Most sports talk shows are fine, but you find yourself craving more. You need the Recruiting Hour with Mike Schaefer and Connor Happer. Each day, we break down what's happening on the recruiting trail and on campus, bringing you guests from all corners of the college football world. The Recruiting Hour with Mike Schaefer and Connor Happer. Weekdays at 2 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Security First Bank. We're the bank, and we make your mortgage more manageable with flexible terms, trusted advice, and competitive rates. When you work with us, we'll know your name, but we'll also get to know your home dreams too. Security First Bank of Lincoln. Voted best small bank in Nebraska by Newsweek magazine. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 505011.
At Koppel, you can shop online for the most affordable crossovers, SUVs, cars, and trucks. They have new Chevrolet and GMC or used inventory, all at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Sean Callahan, and before I got my car at Koppel, I shopped online at koppelcars.com. I found a vehicle I liked, then I drove that money-saving mile to Koppel in Louisville. You should too. It was just minutes from I-80 or at koppelcars.com.
Get in, get out, and get your hands on a great career. Did you know Southeast Community College offers short-term training in almost 20 programs of study? That means you can get your certificate at SCC and get right to work without spending years in school. You can train at one of our 3 campus locations in Beatrice, Lincoln, or Milford, or our 6 learning centers across Southeast Nebraska. If you want to find your next step, visit southeast.edu/academics. SCC, your path to possible.
Dancing at weddings, walking the dog, playing with grandchildren. These are the small moments that make life great. They're also the moments that chronic pain steals from us. Don't let chronic pain stop you or a loved one from living life. At MD Pain, we wrote the book on effective, ethical pain management. We offer the most up-to-date treatments from Nebraska's leading physicians. Don't let pain stand in your way. Call MD Pain.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
So Planet Fitness is only $10 a month with no commitment. Pretty sweet. That's $10 a month to be in a thumbs up emoji place. Yes, I just said thumbs up emoji. It means that you're in the judgment-free zone. That's $10 a month. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. The world judges. We don't. Planet Fitness. Be free.
2 Lincoln locations, just east of 27th and Folkways and 48th and Van Dorn.
Annual membership fee applies. Participating locations only. See club for details.
All right, listen up, y'all.
Wait, what is it, Rico? It's a book. It's a film. It's a play.
This is the Blog Job.
So, Rico. I'm told you're more of the strong silent type.
Brought to you by Barney Insurance. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rico is here. How are you, sir?
I am doing well. How are you?
You're doing better now that we can hear you.
Hey, it'd be like that sometimes.
No, we got you. So we have a couple things before you get to the blog jog. We have Garth tickets. What do they need to do to get them?
Yes. So our competition is still going on. No, not the singing competition. We got that settled. We got that settled. We can't.
Should we
already
do that
started
again?
this. No,
Should
we
do
only
that?
have another pair. We have another pair, and we told the people that this is what we're doing.
Yeah, but if I can get another pair, should we do it?
If you can, we can.
No, they won't be great seats, but there'll be seats.
If you can,
Hey, you're in the stadium.
we can.
Right? Like if they, I'll say this, but when would we do it today? Just doing like leftovers.
Your show is packed. I mean,
just doing leftovers. Maybe
you'd have to get along leftovers.
Yeah. Well, no, because they're only going to sing like 30 seconds.
I know, but still,
We
you
can
need
ditch the
multiple
leftovers.
people.
We could ditch. I mean, I think.
Do you want just 3 people
Okay,
then?
so text line, let us know. Text line, let me know. Are there people willing to sing for tickets today?
Yeah.
If there are, my contact says he has tickets.
Okay. I mean,
So-
if you're down for that, if they're down for it, we could do it.
Let us know.
You just need a longer leftovers.
All right.
Okay. So just remember that when you're doing your interviews.
Okay. And then
So what we're doing still until Thursday.
Okay.
What you gots to do.
Okay.
Is get yourself a Twitter if you don't have one. If you do have a Twitter, go to @937 The Ticket. Hit the follow button. Hit the little bell. Turn on the notifications. You actually don't have to turn on the notifications,
should.
but you should.
You should.
Because
You should.
then you'll find out everything that we're doing over on the Twitter sphere. Also, well, take a screenshot of that you're following and you got the notifications, or that you're just following. And then go to your app store, go to your Google Play Store, whatever type of phone you have. It should be the app store. I don't know why you have an Android.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Watch it.
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Careful.
Yeah, I'm
Hey.
talking to you.
Yeah.
You green message users. Go to the App Store, go to the Google Play Store, search 93.7 The Ticket, 93.7 The Ticket. There should be an app. You'll know it when you see it. Hit the app, hit download the app, screenshot the app either on your home screen or open the app, be in the app, screenshot that. Go back to your Twitters. Go to tweet, compose tweet, put @937 The Ticket, put done, and then put both of the screenshots in your tweet.
Bam.
Boom, bam, easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yep, and folks have done it. So
we've got a couple people
Yeah,
already.
We got folks in it.
So, and once you do that, your name will be entered into a pool, a drawing for the Garth tickets. We
And
will
when
do that.
You'll do that tomorrow.
We will do that tomorrow. The competition will close, we'll say, at the end of the DP and Steven show tomorrow.
If they have, and again, if you don't have Twitter and you
Mhm.
don't have, you want to do all that. If there's enough of you that are willing to sing for it,
we'll do it.
I'll get another pair.
But
And you should be willing to sing for it. For
you
crying out
should.
loud.
Oh, Tom, it was spectacular.
It was
yesterday.
amazing.
It was.
I heard it.
Oh,
It was great.
Oh, just
It was great.
BJ has his own fan club now. Like he was just like, oh yeah.
What do you sing, freshman?
I couldn't tell you.
Anybody?
You know,
Bueller?
Nick would be the only one.
I've seen Garth, as I've told you guys many times. He's always great, and I'm going Saturday. Very excited because I'm done with this thing as of Friday.
Okay.
And they say you can get out of jail and
Get out of
Should I
jail
tell
free
them what has happened to me?
It's your
call.
It's your to tell. I
got COVID.
Yeah.
I got COVID, so I got grounded.
Yeah.
And I was worried that I gave it to all you guys. I was worried that I gave it to all you guys last week, but nobody's sick, right? Nobody's been sick at the station.
Beck and I tested well, so that was.
And I actually have results pending today. I had a test yesterday, so if it's good, I can come back to the studio tomorrow with Bach.
Well, I won't be here, so you guys have to take care. Look, man, we've said this. You guys have to take care of each other in studio and out. And like the stuff that happens outside the studio makes it to the studio. We have to take care of each other. Like that's just how this thing works.
Well, I've been fully vaccinated. I felt like I've taken all the precautions. Have no idea. All the people I've been around are scot-free. They're good.
Well, bro, it's just as long as you're okay. I know you had a tough couple of days, and we were rooting for you and cheering for you. And now that you seem to be on the other side of it,
yeah. Well, with my health history, I was a little concerned, but 2 days of crap, and now I'm back.
Yep. Well, we're
proud of you, Tom.
we're glad for that.
Thank you, Rico.
Proud of you.
So, and again,
glad
Dirk says, I can only sing once a week. I can only perform once a week.
Yeah, that's okay.
And maybe even, to have somebody. Nick,
hold on, we have Nicholas has something for us.
All right, Rico. In yesterday's folder,
there
will be 5 Garth Brooks songs. We have a singer.
We have
already.
We have a singer.
We have somebody.
And there will be a
wants to
break
sing.
in between but in between the clips that you find. That's where you want to pause it.
Okay.
Now, are you guys going to let him pick the song, or do you have a song picked out?
Well, Nick picked them out yesterday, but my thought is it may open the gate a little wider if we just let people pick their song and sing it.
It has to be one of the 5.
I mean, maybe, but then we don't have the music for
Well,
it.
we don't need the music.
We don't need the music.
Acapella, baby.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
well,
who do we have on the line?
I didn't grab his name.
Wow. You know what? Get out of here. Caller, you got like 2 minutes. What's your name?
This is Corey.
Corey? Okay, Corey. What song are you going to sing?
Let's do, it's got to be Garth Brooks.
Yes.
Oh, let's do Thunder Rolls.
Okay.
All right. Ready when you are.
Ready?
Let's go.
3:30 in the morning, not a soul in sight. The city's looking like a ghost town on a moonlit summer night. Raindrops on the windshield, there's a storm moving in. He's heading back from somewhere that he never should have been. And the thunder rolls, and the thunder rolls, and the thunder rolls.
Big finish.
Every light is burning. Is that good?
Give it to me, brother. Like we need to full on.
Yeah.
Because Ohio Husker says he's going to sing behind you.
Ooh.
Yeah, he said he's coming.
Okay. Every light is burning in a house across the town. She's pacing by the telephone in her faded flannel gown, asking for a miracle, hoping she's not right. Praying it's the weather that keeps them out all night and the thunder rolls.
You know what,
Yeah.
Corey? You know what? I appreciate the effort. I'm gonna get you a pair of tickets, bro.
Oh yes, man. Thank you.
I'm gonna get you a pair of tickets.
All right,
I'm
Corey.
I'm gonna come out of pocket for that because it takes a lot of moxie to
It does.
just get up and just rock that thing out like that. So
I thought you were going to go
All
Randy
right.
Jackson on that one. I'm not hearing it, dog.
no.
I'm not hearing it, dog.
All right.
I liked it. I agree. I like the moxie.
Corey, hold on. Nick is going to get your information.
Yeah.
And then I guess DP will get you some tickets.
Yeah, I just think
Well,
that's
you got-
cool. Yeah,
so
well
much.
done. Thank
All right,
you.
man. Just hold on the line.
Oh, that's I just anybody that's willing to do that, like I'm impressed by that.
Well, we have a lot of people at the station that we've seen over the years are willing to do that probably shouldn't be willing to do that. But I like that. I liked it.
I
mean,
think-
that was Not quite Garth, but close.
I think it sounds pretty close. Yeah, I think Corey almost nailed it. Hold on, let's see if Corey hit this part.
The thunder rolls and the lightning strikes. Another love grows cold on a sleepless night as the storm goes on out of control. Deep in her heart, the thunder rolls.
So Ohio Husker says he'd sing again, and I think he has his own song. I'll say this: Ohio Husker, if you right at the top of the hour here, so as soon as we come back, if you can give us 40 seconds right at 12:05, we'll see what we can do.
All right, there you go.
I like it.
There's your challenge.
There we go.
And remember, there's also another opportunity. Follow the Twitter, download the app, screenshot both, tweet at 93.7 The Ticket on Twitter, put done, and you will be entered in for a chance to win yourself some Garth Brooks tickets.
Well done.
All right, well, we're going to hear Ohio Husker, I guess, sing in a matter of moments.
This
is going to be fantastic.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be off the chain, as the kids say. We'll do it next.
Okay, Tom, you're done.
Follow DP and Stevens on Twitter at Derek Pearson, at 93.7 Tom Stevens. This is the DP and Stevens Show.
When you choose new flooring, you don't want to wait for weeks or months to enjoy it. You want it installed right away. Hi, Steve Carper from O Street Carpet. We hear stories every day about long waits and installation charges way higher than necessary. When you choose O Street Carpet, we'll measure free, install right away, and at a much better price. Stop in, shop now. Proud to be Lincoln's choice for nearly 50 years.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street and ostreetcarpet.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Shaping up to be another hot day as the heat advisory will be in effect again this afternoon. We'll top out near 94. It will feel more over 100 due to the humidity. Winds eventually turning out the northeast at 10 to 15. We'll drop to 68 for the low tonight. Be back up to 93 tomorrow with a slight chance of evening thunderstorms. That's a check of your forecast. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What are you doing, Sip?
I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives.
So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion-censored switchboard. Duh.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course.
Oh, God. Ow. Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back in the future.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Is your kitchen outdated and in need of a facelift? Kitchen Tune-Up in Lincoln specializes in 1 to 5 day kitchen updates. A 1-day tune-up is like taking your car to get detailed, and a 5-day job can tear out cabinets and put in new ones. And they work on both kitchens and bathrooms. You don't need to worry about a long, drawn-out process that leaves your house a mess for months. It's simply 1 to 5 days with these services. Call Jason at Kitchen Tune-Up today at 402-340-0008 or go to kitchentune-up.com for more info.
Everyone loves a good deal, and there's plenty of great options right now at Brown Shoe Fit for their summer clearance sale. Check out their multiple sizes and widths in sandals with brands like Clarks, Keen, Aetrex, and many more. Hurry in for the best selection because this sale only goes to the end of the month. It's the summer clearance sale at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket sports news go now.
I'm Nick Sainert. In the NFL, the Indianapolis Colts announced that quarterback Carson Wentz and Quentin Nelson are both trending to play in Week 1, despite going through recent foot surgeries. Staying with the Colts, head coach Frank Reich and general manager Chris Ballard both had their contracts extended through the 2026 season. In college football, Clemson quarterback DJ Uiagalelei has partnered with Dr. Pepper for a commercial ad campaign. In the NBA, Dennis Schroeder agreed to a one-year, $5.9 million deal with the Celtics after turning down an extension worth over $80 million with the Lakers during the regular season. In Major League Baseball, the Brewers took both games of the doubleheader on Tuesday against the Cubs at Wrigley. Salvador Perez homered twice in the Royals' 8-4 win over the Yankees. The Tampa Bay Rays extended their divisional lead with an 8-4 win at Fenway Park against the Red Sox. And lastly, both Corey Seager and Max Muncy homered for Los Angeles to help them end Philadelphia's 8-game winning streak with a 5-0 shutout win on the road. For our latest sports news and updates, keep it tuned right here to 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the DP and Steven Show, live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Derek Pearson.
Do you know who I am? I'm kind of a big deal.
Tom Stevens.
I must break you.
You're listening to the DP and Steven Show, brought to you by Tracy's Collision Center.
Hour number 2, and congratulations, Corey. Again, thank you for stepping up and putting on a fine performance to get us. It's Garth Week.
Yeah.
It's Garth Week. So, and even at the Huskers practice this morning, several of their drills were with Garth in the background.
Seriously, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was the first 2 or 3 songs were Garth songs, and it was pretty cool. So there was that. Pretty good stuff.
That is very, very cool. I'm guessing some of them liked it more than others. The coaches probably loved it. The country guys probably really dug it, and I'm guessing some of the Nebraska kids loved it.
Yeah, you could tell, and whoever the guy that DJs their practices or whoever plans the music, he then apparently they open when they come together, they always do it to Montel Jordan. This is how we do it, and they got a little clap that they have going with it, and it's the team and I was surprised at how many, like, all the coaches got into the clap with them. It was like, okay, wait a minute, here we go, Nebraska, let's do it. And then I posted on Twitter, I caught Omar Manning. So they played Michael Jackson, Pretty Young Thing, right?
Oh, nice,
pretty upbeat, right? And I look over, and Omar Manning is doing a full-on Michael Jackson dance. So he does the kick and the hip thrust, and if he could have moonwalked, I without getting in trouble, I think he
no
would
moonwalk.
No moonwalk, but he left it there. And then Xavier Betts put on a little show. He had a little gang going on, and so it was fun to watch. There's a lot of news out of that, Tom. I'm not drinking Kool-Aid, but I know where it is on the table.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Nebraska fans aren't buying it, but it's also good to hear positivity. I'd rather hear a little positivity coming out of camp than I don't think we're very good, and we're probably gonna lose the first 3 games. You're not hearing that. You're hearing a lot of chemistry being good, guys pushing each other, not necessarily sure about 2 deeps. That you feel like you could have guys that are on the second team who could be starters, who could be difference makers. I guess I like the fact that you're hearing that Logan Smothers could be the real deal, because I thought it was interesting. Sam did, and the Journal Star, Parker Gabriel, both kind of did pieces on the quarterback situation, and Nebraska's just not survived a season. That the average, I think, over the last several years is, whether it's Adrian or whoever, Tommy or Taylor, you're going to miss 2 games.
Tom, you can see my face on the video screen.
Yeah,
my surprise face
on the Logan Smothers thing.
Yeah, like I don't know why that's complicated.
Yeah, well, we both said that he should. He's a guy with another year under his belt. I mean, they changed his motion. Apparently, it looks very good. I didn't necessarily think I was necessarily one of those guys that looked at his high school video and said that's a motion that has to be changed. But I just think he adds a little running element that Harburg's definitely a good athlete, but I just don't think he's going to be ready as the number 2 guy. Heck, I didn't think Luke was ready last year as the number 2 guy. At times, Adrian struggled, but I think there are more weapons. I think that's a big key. We always go to the running backs and the wide receivers. I don't think we talk nearly enough about who's going to be the backup quarterback.
I'll go through, and I shared with Nick and Rico before the show, so I'll share it with you now, Tom. Share it with the listeners. So a couple of things that happened in the half hour that I was there. One, Bryce Benhart is a large individual human being.
Yeah, 6'9", 330.
Like it's amongst monsters, he's a monster. Like he's the one that stands out. It was like, my goodness gracious, that is a whole lot of human being. Second of all, they did a thing, and I'm trying not to get excited about it, but I'm failing miserably at like the Kool-Aid's on the table, and I'm just trying to just stay away from it. They did a thing in short yardage where, Tom, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
They had Step at tailback behind Adrian, and they had Jaquez Yant in front of him at fullback.
Oh, don't get me excited. Is that your goal line package?
Is
that your goal line package?
Tom, yeah. It was short yardage, and yeah. And then as if I wasn't excited enough, they then put in the next sequence, they had Omar in the slot, and they brought Omar in motion. They brought Omar in motion. Yeah. They brought Omar in motion. And then they pivoted Omar out to run a jet to the pylon, and Adrian threw a dime, and I just turned my face to the wall. Because I didn't want anybody to see the grin on my face.
Yeah.
Like it was like,
don't let them see a grin.
Oh, it was like, oh, did they? They did. And then we went over to the they were having running back drills, and Gabe Irvin Jr. was first in all the drills.
That's your guy.
Right? He was first in all the drills. And behind him was Marquis Step. And let me tell you, it makes sense. It makes sense. Why they went and got Marquis Step, it makes sense.
2 different body types, right?
It makes sense. And then behind him was Sevion was behind him. And then at the back of the line was the monster. Jaquez is at the back of the line. And he goes through this. I just want to point this out. He went through the same agility drills that Step and Irvin went through. He went through it clean.
Nice. Clean. Well, it intrigues me if he's actually your starting fullback in goal line packages. That's very. I mean, obviously, you look at Nebraska's downfall, and they weren't bad. They were second in rushing last year. The offense was top 5 in the Big Ten, but they get inside the 20 or near the 20, and allergies start. I mean, there was full-blown cold. I mean, they had every way possible of beating themselves, and you just wanted to say, well, just run the ball. Find somebody who can get 5 yards and score a touchdown. And maybe they have some options that can do that this year.
Well, it also, what they did with it in the previous sequence, they had 2 tights and two wings with the single back. And so they're going to make defenses actually trade personnel in those situations based on who Nebraska has on the field. They have the 2 tights. They had 4 receivers with the 1 back. They had 3 receivers with Yant in as fullback. And I just went, hoo-wee. I just went from the well, because one, you have options. I mean, we've got the bigs, right? You have the tight ends where you can just go big on small and just power people. You can go big on small in the passing game, and that'll work. But then you're going to change the personnel and put a 250-pound lead running back / fullback in who can thunder pads, but then also who can get to the flat.
Yeah.
And then the motion with Xavier Betts, and then with Omar Manning, I just went, just like at least, give me a little. You're like, you gave me some sugar with the Kool-Aid, man. It was.
I am so tired of by committee You haven't had a lead running back really since Devon Zigbo. At times, Mills was that guy, and he was certainly the best running back that you had. I just want somebody to step up and win that job. Scott Frost said the same thing. He wants a cutthroat competition in camp. Hopefully you get that. And then somebody win the job. I understand situational play, for guys like Yant and Stepp that are bigger backs. There's something inside of me that wants Gabe Ervin to take that job and run away with it. Already you're hearing good things about his ability to protect the quarterback. And number 2 is kind of important to this offense. And that's not an easy thing to get true freshman running backs to do, to stick their head in and, try to block a 250-pound linebacker charging at their quarterback. Sometimes they shy away from that. And if he's the best pass blocker, which you're hearing over and over, that's a good sign for Nebraska football.
Well, I mean, in the system that he was in high school, when you look at the clips, this is why when you watch clips, like for me, I need to see whole game clips. I don't need to just see his highlights of when he's just running the ball, when he's the priority in the run and the passing game, but to see what else is what are they doing when the ball's not theirs? What are they doing when they're not the focus? And he was a top level pass in pass pro, even in high school. Like, I mean, again, the guys are smaller and they're not as strong, but his willingness, to be able to read where the pressure was coming from and to adapt. Sometimes I'm not sure they had a system where it was assigned that he was just back there to pick up first man through, and he always guessed right. Like he always guessed right in where to step up, where to give his quarterback time. And then for him, if he's good at pass pro, then him shedding that and getting into the flat where there's no defender. Because again, if they're bringing pressure, you throw to the pressure, and that means that there's nobody out there for him. He'll be all by himself in the flat for aging for an easy throw. So whoever's back there, if it's Ervin, I smile. If it's Stepp, I mean, Stepp did it at USC.
Yep,
he did it at USC. So bravo to what they were putting on display.
Well, it's a little surprising that Stepp, you're already hearing 100% when we were worried. He didn't play a lot during the spring, but you're hearing that he's 100%, if not close to it. I think Scott Frost was quoted at Big Ten Media Day saying he's on a pitch count. You haven't heard those words in recent days. You can just find me 2 guys and then throw in Yant in goal line situations, or you need a couple of yards to get a first down. Then I feel a whole lot better about the running back position. That maybe outside of Stepp, you didn't need to go get somebody even more from the portal.
Well, I mean, you need more because you need the competition. To watch Stepp in agilities, which is where you're going to tax the ankle, you're going to tax the foot. There was no hesitancy. It wasn't like he was soft stepping on that pivot. That wasn't an issue for him. He moved through the drills pretty fluidly. When they went through short yardage, he is a downhill, forward lean, forward tilt kind of guy. So it was cool to watch him go through those. But Gabe Ervin is so smooth in short spaces. Like he moves more fluidly in short space and tight space than anybody on the roster. Like there's no, I try to compare him to somebody, it would be unfair. He just moves differently in the space. So to watch that and watch the folks move, and then to watch, they did some ball safety work with all the quarterbacks, which I needed to see. Because again, with all the turnovers that happen at the quarterback position, it gives you comfort in knowing that it is a daily focus that they're working on putting the ball away and not putting it on the turf and giving
Nebraska
it away.
was minus 11 in turnovers in a shortened season last year. That just can't happen. When was the last time you could remember a Nebraska team winning the turnover battle consistently on the plus side of the ledger? Even under Bo Pelini, it wasn't close. They were usually negative turnovers, and somehow they always managed to win 9 or 10 games. So that's a big part of it for me. But the sheer size of this team is something that also sticks out, even at, pointing to the running backs. Gabe Ervin is 215 pounds. Obviously, Marquise Stepp is 230. You've got Jaquez Yant at 250 pounds. They've emphasized size in recruiting, and they're getting it. I mean, these guys are big.
Well, it's
really big,
and they're still quick.
Yeah,
they're still quick. That was the thing that jumped out about Stepp and Yant today was that no, they're still quick. I'll post the Jacques Yant clip of him going through agility, and he finishes with anger. Like there was pad resistance in this agility, and Yant went above and beyond to kind of seek out the pad.
Yeah,
which gave me a little bit more comfort. Like I was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing, and it made sense to watch. To watch what order they went in, and then to pay attention to how they went through it. I'm surprised. Yeah, Yant's as quick as Stepp. At least in this drill. I'll send you the clip.
Okay.
It just when you saw them and it's them in order, and you just went, oh, okay, that makes sense how they line up that way. So some good stuff, some great route combinations. Adrian was good with ball placements today. Adrian was good with his big throws. The receivers can stretch their legs. Like that was the thing that was noticed. Quick release, Adrian was putting air under it, and the receivers at a full sprint, top speed, were still getting to it. Adrian looked sharp. So, do we have clips in? What do we have in there, sir? What do we have? Nick has some clips for us.
Let's see. So Ryan Held spoke today. Let's start out with this one: figuring out the depth chart.
Starting to come to light. I'm not going to give you the depth chart right now, but I mean it's starting to work itself through, and it's a very competitive group, and they're very supportive of each other in the room, good and bad. And so it's fun. It's fun coming to work every day because I don't have a guy that's played a million snaps. So every day is a new opportunity for us to look at a situation and, have it presented to us and then be able to go out there and execute it in the way we need it to.
Yeah, he said he won't get into the depth chart, but if Connor's anything like me, you pay attention to the way they line up, who gets first rep, who's the first in every drill. Kurt is in the room.
Are we talking depth chart?
Yeah, especially in the running back.
I think it's pretty clear who the top three is.
Right,
and that would be in no particular order. Although what I saw was Morrison actually taking the first carry today. Morrison, Irvin, and Stepp.
Mm-hmm. And then did you notice the backfield short yardage with with Yant at fullback?
I did. Yeah. That's intriguing. That's intriguing.
I wondered what that was. A 250-pound lead back that you could also dive with.
So Held, and you'll hear this, he refers to having four and then kind of having a line after that, basically. And I think that's what he's referring to.
Okay.
It's like that's so the three plus Yant doing some short yardage, like I'm gonna just run over a guy. But also like fullback, and that's kind of what Stepp's there for too. Stepp had some funny quotes today that I'm sure you guys will get to, but yeah, the running back thing is clearing up a little bit. I still think it'll probably be committee at this point until you just actually get in the game and see who gets hot, but which is not all that encouraging to hear, but they got it down to three, I think, pretty good options.
And I'm still surprised at how agile and quick Yant is.
I know, dude. He's 250 pounds and he has like abs.
I was trying to explain this to Tom. I'm like, just when people say he's overweight, I'm like, no,
he's not overweight.
Just big.
He's not overweight. No, he's just
so.
A
how
large
often
person.
do both of you guys see Nebraska using Yant or Stepp at fullback? Is this just situational goal line stuff, or could we see it more often than that?
You talk about Yant?
Yeah.
Both those guys at fullback.
Who? Sorry,
didn't you say Marquise Stepp was also going to be used at fullback as well, or did I misunderstand?
Not from what I saw. No, just Yant. But
Yant.
that was super short yardage goal line stuff.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Where Nebraska's really struggled, obviously.
Well,
that'd be great.
And plus bringing Betts and Manning in motion, in pivot, in V motion, in short yardage with the two backs. I just went. Well, somebody's been in the lab.
He'll talk about it today, and it's an important point that I think we all know. But the receivers that they have and their demand of attention is really going to help out the running backs. I mean, that's the whole goal of the offense. That's why Stanley Morgan was such a big deal in his senior year in 2018, because he literally opened up lanes for running backs to run down, because you had to divide some of your attention to a big physical wide receiver. And they also had JD Spielman too, who could beat you. So, the more weapons they have in the offense, obviously the better. So Held mentioned that today, and it's an important point. It should help all the running backs.
And we can't let you get out of the room without the quote of the day. The quote of the day.
You have it. It's Marquise Stepp talking about the differences between USC's offense and Nebraska's offense. Here it is.
Man, like it's night and day different. I'm like, one day I was in 80-degree weather. Next day I came, it was like -20. Like it was. I'm from Indianapolis originally, but it's been a few years since I had to. The wind is crazy out here. That was one thing I didn't know. But as far as like my teammates, I feel like the style of play is very different. Like here, it's more like gritty, hand in the dirt, smash bounce football. I see it was more, pretty, like more. It was more flamboyant, I guess. But, yeah.
You like it? You have a preference?
Just leave it on. Leave it on. Leave it on, Nick. Keep going.
It was good to get my feet wet in the flamboyant stuff. But like I said, I'm used to hand in the dirt, smash bounce football. So that's kind of what I like. But getting the pretty boy flamboyant style, I guess it helps in certain situations and stuff. Yeah, it definitely helped getting it. But I like this style better.
I think the word that he was looking for was probably finesse. But he went with
pretty boy football,
flamboyant, which is maybe twice as funny, but still the same amount of true.
It's so good. It was so good. Oh man,
it's interesting. Isn't it a little interesting that we're talking about smash mouth football from a guy from Scott Frost? That's not what we saw at UCF. But now all of a sudden we're talking about smash mouth football.
I mean, it's clear what they want to do with their running backs. It's just the question of can they do it? Like that. Right. That's why they recruited Stepp. That's what they sold him on. That's why they recruited Dedrick Mills. That's what they sold him on. They just, it didn't come to fruition for him like we wanted to. It did at times, but not like we wanted to see. So you still have to do it, but it's fun to say.
Yeah, it's again just fun to watch, and more to come. Lots to go through. Again, we got a loaded. Everett Gray will join us next. Behind that, Lance Harvell. Behind that, Chris Basnett. All of that with Tom Stevens. We'll throw it to break and come back with Everett Gray.
More of the DP and Stevens Show is coming your way on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest thing about getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You knew the risks when you decided to drive drunk. There could be a crash. People could get hurt or killed. But that didn't stop you, did it? You knew you could get arrested. You could incur huge legal expenses, and you could possibly even lose your job. You were well aware of the consequences of driving drunk. But one thing's for sure. You were wrong when you said it was no big deal. Drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by NHTSA.
Dancing at weddings, walking the dog, playing with grandchildren. These are the small moments that make life great. They're also the moments that chronic pain steals from us. Don't let chronic pain stop you or a loved one from living life. At MD Pain, we wrote the book on effective, ethical pain management. We offer the most up-to-date treatments from Nebraska's leading physicians. Don't let pain stand in your way. Call MD Pain.
What are you doing, Sip?
I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives.
So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion-censored switchboard. Duh.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course.
Oh, God. Ow. Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
Century Electric is now hiring for experienced licensed electricians. This position will serve around the Lincoln area on both commercial and residential jobs. Century Electric is well established with 40 years in operation and offers a substantial hiring bonus as well as tons of benefits. For more information or to apply, go online to centuryelectric.com and click the careers tab or call them at 402-467-5550. Come work for a great company today with Century Electric, whose commitment is always to their customers.
Baseball's back in Lincoln. Salt Dogs Baseball has returned, and we're celebrating their 20th season all summer long. In honor of the 20th season, the Salt Dogs are offering specials at every homestand May to September. Come on out for Nebraska Medical Association Thank You Tuesdays, Fairbury Brand Wiener Wednesdays, Thirsty Thursdays, Fireworks Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, and Sunday Family Fun Days brought to you by Casey's. Get your tickets for the Salt Dogs celebration season at saltdogs.com.
Everyone loves a good deal, and there's plenty of great options right now at Brown Shoe Fit for their summer clearance sale. Check out their multiple sizes and widths and sandals with brands like Clarks, Keen, Atrex, and many more. Hurry in for the best selection because this sale only goes to the end of the month. It's the summer clearance sale at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Shaping up to be another hot day as the heat advisory will be in effect again this afternoon. We'll top out near 94. It will feel more over 100 due to the humidity. Winds eventually turning out the northeast at 10 to 15. We'll drop to 68 for the low tonight. Be back up to 93 tomorrow with a slight chance of evening thunderstorms. That's a check of your forecast. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
New owners means new lunch specials at the Fox Bar and Grill. They've just introduced tons of options on their new under $10 lunch menu. Small nachos grande, a classic cheeseburger, 4 boneless or traditional wings and fries, or a small single topping pizza for just $5 each. Try the mushroom Swiss burger or the pepper jack stack burger for just $6. And for just $7, try any of the classic steak Philly, club wrap, grilled chicken salad, or grilled southwestern salad. It's the under $10 lunch menu at the Fox Bar and Grill, just south of 14th and Pine Lake.
Back to the DP and Stevens Show, brought to you by Tracy's Collision Center on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Here's a guy that gives them more depth at UNLV. Everett Gray brings 9 points off the bench for Coach Tarkanian in less than 20 minutes of play in a game. Here he'll have a chance. Oh, as he goes up for the dunk, Miller takes a piece of the arm. Two on Miller now. Team foul number 5. Here's another basketball player with a baseball background. He was a third-round pick of the Astros in '87 was Everett Gray.
Let's bring in the former running Rebel, Everett Gray. Ev, how you doing today, brother?
I am fine. How are you guys doing?
Oh, you got a good phone connection today.
Good.
Look at you go. Look at you go.
Yeah, I had to go find
Flawless.
a place away from the lake, so I'm up in Montana, up in Echo Lake with my 2 girls.
Well, you have to give them proper credit, right? I mean, your world-class volleyball daughter and your Olympic participant daughter. I mean, you have to give them full credit now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I said, you want your kids to be better than you, and they're better than me. But we're having fun. It's a little jet skiing, little water sports situation. So it's pretty fun up here.
Yeah, you're living a tough life there, Everett Gray.
Yeah, struggling.
yeah. I don't know how you things aren't going well for you at all, you and your family.
Yeah,
I don't really.
Yep.
I don't know how you're getting
It's too
through.
bad.
Yeah, I don't
It
know how
really
you're
is too
getting through
bad.
the tough times.
I'm a lucky guy. I get lucky sometimes, and I try to be a good person, DP, and help people. Maybe the karma's coming back a little bit.
Hey, man, I'm with you on that, and I can co-sign that for you because that's how you do it. First of all, young sir, would you please give a happy birthday wish to your former coach? Because Tark was on everybody's mind this week.
Yeah, I mean, Coach, the thing about Coach, people always ask me about is how was he as a coach? And I'm always telling I never heard him raise his voice, even in situations where we were in close games, which was rare with the 3 years I was around him. So, and I try to take that with my coaching style now, but he was just a really generous guy, and he always looked out. And he looked out for kids that needed second chances. And sometimes he got a hard time on doing that, but he saw the good in everyone, and that's the good thing about Coach Tark. And he was pretty funny too. People don't realize he was hilarious.
Well,
like is the way he told jokes? Would he tell actual jokes, or just the things he said?
The things he said, the things he did off the floor. He had no patience, especially for airline. Back then, we had to do commercial. We had a #1 team in the country, and it was hard for him sometimes because he would try to shelter us from that. But occasionally, we'll be on Southwest BP, and it was interesting. And he just didn't have patience, but he'll crack a joke here and there, and he talked to everyone if they're respectful. Sometimes, people are asking for autographs or whatever at the wrong time. Hey, I'm trying to eat. I'll hit you back later if you can wait till I finish eating. But he talked to everyone, and he liked being a celebrity coach.
Well, there were a few guys that had. I mean, Nebraska had Tom Osborne, who had his own way. Like, he had his own persona when it came to how he dealt with that stuff. But you mentioned giving a second chance to some folks, and Tom Osborne was exceptional at it. Bobby Bowden, who just passed, was exceptional at it. Tark, of course, was exceptional. What is it about what makes it? What is it about them that makes them able to see past basic level stuff and find the greater good in their players?
Well, I think with coaches like that, first of all, you get your respect from your players, and that's why everyone is so loyal to Coach Tark to this day. I think everybody makes mistakes, and no one's perfect. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, or maybe they come from a situation where they come from a broken home, or raised by your grandmother type situation because your mom or dad or whatever is working. And sometimes you fall to some stuff in the street sometimes, but that's all in the past, and it was when you were younger when everyone made mistakes. So he never really looked at that situation where you made a mistake. He probably looked at it and evaluated it like, okay, he was only 15 or 16 when you had an issue. Okay, there's been a few people that kind of messed up while they were at UNLV. But it wasn't because of Tark. It was because they made a bad decision. But 90% of the time, those guys that got second chances took advantage of it and appreciate Coach and his family, and mainly Lois Tarkanian too. She was a rock. She tutored the heck out of me, and if it wasn't for her either, I had some issues struggling with academics, but she helped me because she's an educator in Nevada, but she helped me, and I got through what I needed to get through, and it was a team effort with everyone in our program. But he looked out, and like I said, 90 to 95% of those guys took advantage of it.
Everett Gray is our guest, former UNLV star, played the NBA as well. I'm interested because Nebraska just got a commit in baseball from a guy who's in 8th grade. And now we hear about kids getting offers all the time, in 6th, 7th, 8th grade. When did you start getting offers out of high school?
I got you got to realize, Tom, I didn't make my junior high school, junior high team I didn't
Seriously?
really pick up. But yeah, I didn't. I'm gonna tell you the story. I mean, I went to a pretty good junior high team, and it's a junior high called Audubon in inner city LA, and we had 12 guys on the team, and 10 of them played D1. I think 4 or 5 of them played in the NBA. So I got cut every year. And so my last year at this junior high, the guy came to me and was like, I'll make you a manager. And I said, thanks. I actually did it because it, kept me around basketball. But I think getting offers, my first offer was from Point Loma School of the Nazarene in San Diego, California. But here's the deal, DP. I never forget that because I used to go to this camp every year, and it's if you ever been to Point Loma, Tom, it's out of Santa Barbara and Pepperdine. It's the coolest campus because it sits right on the water. And that was my first offer in the 9th grade going to the 10th grade. Then they were NAIA school, but that was my first offer. Point Loma School of the Nazarene.
That's funny.
Hey, DP, and I
great.
still try to send guys there. They're D2 now, and I actually got a relationship with the new coach, and I just try to send a kid there because that's just a part of my history, and I always try to send a guy there.
Well, you're at that place now as a high school coach and athletic director, and you have your hands on these young folks, and you know what's required for them to be successful. And you certainly wouldn't send a kid to a program and then have that kid not be up to talent or up to skill. How difficult is it for you to make that decision that, yeah, this is a kid I'm willing to co-sign and put my reputation on the line for?
At any level, I mean, with any school, because the way I look at it is that this kid's got to represent my program and me, so these guys can take me serious going down. I was like, you got to set a path for these next guys that's coming up, and so it makes it much easier for a coach to say, hey, no matter what, sight unseen, I'm going to take this kid because you've already sent me a great kid, went to school, graduated, played good basketball. And that's the way I look at it. I don't put my name behind anything, DP. And you kind of know that, but I make sure I place my kid where I think they can go. Now, I have some academic guys I had a couple of D1 kids that wanted to go to a D2 because of the academics where they wanted to go. I had a 6'10" kid that had a D1 offer to Loyola Chicago, turned it down, DP, to go to South Dakota School of the Mines because he was an engineer major, and they were one of the top engineering programs in the country. And so Joe Newkirk, I know all my players. Joe Newkirk graduated from South Dakota School of the Mines, became an engineer, works for Boeing, making a lot of money, DP, and I'm happy for him. So occasionally it happens where a D1 guy turns down a D1 offer because he's strictly academics. He knows he's not going to play in the NBA. He wants to be an engineer or whatever he wants to do. And that happens sometimes, but I was happy for Joe, got a full ride, and now he's making a lot of money.
Hey, I want to get your reaction, Everett. Of course, the U.S. wins gold on the women's side and on the men's side, but it was a little more difficult on the men's side after losing a couple of exhibition games. KD obviously carried that team, but what was your overall reaction to the U.S. beating France and winning gold?
Well, I think I told you guys they just needed more practice time. I know you can run it back. You can run it back. I said the issue I had was when Drew Holiday, the first game against France, led them in scoring, and he smelled like champagne and cigars.
Yeah,
that was an issue. But after they practiced, after that France loss, I think they practiced for like 5 or 6 days, and then they needed that Iran game, and they took off from there. I never doubted them. I just think they needed to gel more because of how the NBA pushed the season back. They couldn't have all their pieces there, and then KD is hating on Perk, him and Draymond, but I don't really think if we have full strength at a normal training camp where everybody's there and like NBA finals is done and guys are all practicing together, I think we're hard to beat. And obviously, KD ended up being the alpha male on that team, and he carried the team. And that's the way it should be, because I think right now, KD is the number one player in the world right now. And, you know, LeBron is probably second, but LeBron's getting a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Before we let you go, again, recruiting is hitting earlier. Ev, when will name, image, and likeness hit high school?
I thought it was hitting already. I mean, I know the kid Mikey Williams is already like making over $1 million, and he's a junior to be, but he might reclass because he's probably 30 already. but I think as soon as you can get into high school, they can't monitor that. Once you said it's fine in college, high schools can't do anything about making money off the floor. So I'm going to start with 8th grade. 8th and 9th grade, because that's when you can offer kids in the 8th grade. But I think these kids, more power to you. I mean, the tennis players have been doing it for years, so let's see high school kids doing it. You're gonna see guys in high school driving G-Wagons in high school and paying taxes already in 8th grade, and 10th and 11th grade. But I'm okay. I'm for it, and I just hope that. The only problem, DP, you know, the bad part is that when you make money young, stupid things happen.
Yep.
And you have the whole family dynamic, and there's going to be some issues going forward with that. But hopefully, some of these kids have a good balance of a good structure around them, because it don't happen, and it's going to have problems with, you know, family coming out of the woodwork. And you're like 16 years old, you're dealing with that.
And girls.
Well, hopefully they can figure it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And girls and teachers and coaches.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's gonna be interesting, but hopefully these guys got good families backing them and teaching them in the right way. And we're gonna have an agent probably in high school.
Yep.
It is going to be the wild, wild west. Ev, enjoy your young ladies. Enjoy your time away. Young man, thank you for giving us time on your vacation. I know
Hey,
you
we'll
work
talk
your
about
tail.
Dennis Schroeder next week, please.
Yeah,
Please.
Tom can't wait to talk about Schroeder. You know he's
That's right.
excited. You know
He's a
excited.
Celtic. He's a Celtic, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, next week.
Please, let's talk about it.
Next week. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Look at Tom.
I actually wrote down Dennis Schroeder. I wanted to talk about him, but that's a good get for the Celtics. That's a good get.
It'll be in the leftovers, I'm sure.
That's right. That's right. But we got Wingman, right? Is Happer ready to go?
He's
is
ready.
Carter?
He's ready.
Is he going to sing? Is he going to?
We don't know.
Play the kazoo. We never know.
No, this is
what
his
he's gonna do.
Vegas showcase. You just show up, you buy the
That's right.
ticket, you get what he gives you.
That's right. He'll come out in the star-studded suit and the big top hat, and he'll perform for us on Wingman next.
You're listening to the DP and Steven Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now that Ken Richards has purchased Brokers Agency, he and his professional staff will continue to provide their clients with the same excellent service under the Brokers Insurance Agency name. Brokers Insurance Agency works with more than 15 companies to help find the best policy for you to avoid any long hassles. Also, if you're looking to get into the insurance business as an independent agent, they have the formula to make that process smooth and successful. Call Ken with Brokers Insurance Agency today at 402-420-5353 or visit brokersinsuranceNE.com.
Whether you're looking for a honey, we can't shrink the kids family car loan or look at my wheels first car loan, talk to Liberty First Credit Union. No hidden charges or early prepayment penalties and rates as low as 1.98% APR. Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose. Talk to a lender who's here for people, not profits. People like you. Rates may vary depending on year and miles. Subject to credit approval. Not available for current LFCU loans. See Liberty First Credit Union for details.
So Planet Fitness is only $10 a month with no commitment. Pretty sweet. That's $10 a month to be in a thumbs up emoji place. Yes, I just said thumbs up emoji. It means that you're in the judgment-free zone. That's $10 a month. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. The world judges. We don't. Planet Fitness. Be free.
2 Lincoln locations, just east of 27th and Folkways and 48th and Van Dorn.
Annual membership fee applies. Participating locations only. See club for details.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
Shaping up to be another hot day as the heat advisory will be in effect again this afternoon. We'll top out near 94. It will feel more over 100 due to the humidity. Winds eventually turning out the northeast at 10 to 15. We'll drop to 68 for the low tonight. Be back up to 93 tomorrow with a slight chance of evening thunderstorms. That's a check of your forecast. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
New owners means new lunch specials at the Fox Bar and Grill. They've just introduced tons of options on their new under $10 lunch menu. Small nachos grande, a classic cheeseburger, 4 boneless or traditional wings and fries, or a small single topping pizza for just $5 each. Try the mushroom Swiss burger or the pepper jack stack burger for just $6. And for just $7, try any of the classic steak Philly, club wrap, grilled chicken salad, or grilled southwestern salad. It's the under $10 lunch menu at the Fox Bar and Grill, just south of 14th and Pine Lake.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill has been your go-to in South Lincoln for years. And now they're opening a second location downtown. Rosie's is opening the first week of August at 10th and P, and they can't wait to be Lincoln's premier Nebraska party bar with a sidetrack band every Friday night of home games and all day Saturday for Nebraska home football games. With 34 TVs that are 65 inches or bigger, you'll always have a great view for all the games. Make sure to check out the new Rosie Sports Bar and Grill opening the first week of August at 10th and P.
Century Electric is now hiring for experienced licensed electricians. This position will serve around the Lincoln area on both commercial and residential jobs. Century Electric is well established with 40 years in operation. It offers a substantial hiring bonus as well as tons of benefits. For more information or to apply, go online to centuryelectric.com and click the careers tab or call them at 402-467-5550. Come work for a great company today with Century Electric, whose commitment is always to their customers.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. Official fall football practice is starting up in Lincoln this week. Most teams start getting ready for the season on Monday, working through the recent heat wave. Coaches are getting their players ready as the temperature remains intense. Keeping players safe and hydrated was an emphasis and will continue to be as players begin to bring in contact practice. Looking to improve last year's loss to Kearney in the quarterfinals, Bellevue West, Caden Holmes, and the rest of this team are striving for better results as the season inches closer. Lincoln's Southeast offensive line is looking to lead the way for their team this season. The veteran group has size that they will rely on to lead them to the finals after an early exit last year in the quarterfinals. The Norris football team is looking to improve their offense with their large receiving core. With multiple receivers over 6'3", Norris Cooper, their quarterback, will have an advantage. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
This is Wingman.
Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash. I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. You can be my wingman anytime.
Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings on 93.7 The Ticket.
It is Wingman time, 464-5685. Call right now on the Honda of Lincoln hotline for your chance to win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings so you can go get chickens.
Poyos.
Yardbird.
All right. What's Happer got cooked up for today?
So I actually like the idea where we're just going to play like the very first second. This is actually the first half of a second of a song.
Okay.
And you just have to tell me what song it is and who it is by.
Okay.
Wow, this will be fascinating.
So here it is.
Oh! Oh!
You have it?
Oh!
You should.
You know it?
Oh, baby!
You should.
It's a classic. It's top of the line.
You should.
It's the showstopper. Look, if you need me on the dance floor, give me some of this.
Play it again.
I don't have the rest of it, but here it is.
Play it again.
Oh, that's gold.
Gold, Jerry.
Tyler nailed it.
You should nail it. Everyone
Oh,
should nail it.
glorious.
So call in.
Glorious. But
Get
you have
your-
to know who made it as well.
That's right.
The people will know the song, but the singer of the song. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Let's
Now
take a call.
This
What do
was,
we have?
This was back in the day. This was like a dance contest.
Still is.
Yeah.
Still is.
Yeah. Yeah. So
When was the last time you entered a dance contest, DP?
Ooh,
Just find yourself in those places.
About 6 years ago.
Yeah. Oh,
About
nice.
6
You
years
just
ago.
showed up. Oh, there's a dance contest. I think I'll win the Jeep.
Well, it wasn't a Jeep. It was like a $250 gift card for the restaurant.
Okay.
Oh, that's close enough.
And so it paid the bar tab for me and my coaching
I think
buddies.
you won the dance contest at my wedding.
Was there one?
I mean, every wedding kind of is.
Yeah, right.
But
Yeah.
Right.
you were in there.
It
You
was
got a
one-
free drink.
It was one song. Yeah, I got a lot of free drinks.
That's right. You got lots of free drinks.
Uh,
Who's on the line?
Tyler,
Anybody?
Tyler is
Tyler.
on the line. I'm sure Tyler knows.
Hey, Tyler.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. What's the song?
Good. It's Return of the Mac, Mark Morrison.
That is
well
it.
Well done.
Sure is, Tyler.
Well done.
Beautifully done. Now, do we have the rest of the song?
Nope.
Can we? We don't get the rest of the song now.
Rico, can we get some Mark Morrison before this segment is over?
That was my fault. It was an oversight by me.
You have to know, this song is very popular on the text line. So this was like folks knew it. It's it has such a unique sound.
I think this is kind of what when I'm doing this. I guess there's only like 2 more days of it, but like this is kind of what I want to do. You start the song and then.
And
you
I
see
still don't know what the rest of the words to the song are, other than the chorus.
You start off with a bunch of O's.
Right. My buddy used to have this job for ASCAP BMI, the music service. This royalty fees. This is how musicians get paid. They used to have these things called skimmers, and they would skim the radio station and give you like 2 seconds of each song.
Mm-hmm.
And his job was to go through the tape back when there were tapes and identify each song in 2 seconds and less. And you couldn't miss like one song every 300 songs.
Yeah.
So Tom,
that was back. Now that it's all computerized.
That's a good gig. That's a good bit.
So the chorus,
Yeah.
I mean, apparently this is supposed to be like a sad song, which you don't know. But the chorus is, "You lied to me." All those times that I said I loved you, you lied to me.
You lied to me.
I tried.
But
Yes, I tried.
Yes, I tried.
Yeah. And then Return of the Mac for the duration of the song.
You
It's-
lied to me.
Oh my goodness gracious! Like I never knew what the lyrics were. Rico, can you get us some of that?
Yeah,
Just
he's getting it.
Get us enough of it. But I do.
Even though
But
you
I
knew-
do.
Even though you knew I'd die for you.
Yeah.
You lied to me.
Yeah, like
You lied to me.
That's the only way to do it. That's the only way to do it. So we'll have that to close the segment. What'd you see at practice today?
A lot. I mean, the first thing that I noticed, they came right out of stretching and stuff like that, and put in and just ran some offense against basically air. I mean, there were people on the other side, and they were doing the other side with defense. But you just want to kind of see who's out there and if everything kind of makes sense. But today, no Austin Allen, no Travis Vokalek. That was the
Right.
first thing that I noticed.
Right.
I think there's maybe an injury with Travis. I think probably it was load management with Austin.
Right.
That'd be my guess.
Right.
So that's something to monitor. But the first tight end out there was Chris Hickman, and the second tight end was James Carney,
which was fascinating.
Yeah.
Depth concerns there. That's if you were to start to see.
I hadn't thought about it, Tom. I hadn't thought about tight end after Austin Allen, and Travis Vokalek. I was just like, well, they'll be there. You don't need to really do anything else. So Hickman feels like the next guy there, and then James Carney. I don't think you'll probably have to do too much of that in the season, but you never know.
In a weird way, we'd be freaking out if Thomas Fedoni were healthy. We'd be kind of freaking out.
Yeah,
like going, this is awesome.
That would have been a Thomas Fedoni moment right there. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
And then you paying attention to who the. So another one of who's out there, Turner Corcoran, padded up in uniform, but not strapped up, no braces. So he was not going through that. They had Brant Banks working at left tackle to start off. And the first running back that I saw was Sevion Morrison. Now, I still think they're in that range where you're trying to figure it out amongst the three, with Irvin, Stepp, and Morrison. But yeah, that's the type of stuff that I kind of took away.
It was fun, and again, my first eyes on to know that they came out to Montel Jordan.
Yeah,
like that.
Well, we walked in and there was Garth Brooks.
Yeah, I told him. I said,
and it quickly changed.
Yeah, it went from 2 Garth songs.
All right, that's enough.
to Montel Jordan, then to Michael Jackson, PYT.
Yeah, that's right.
And again, I don't know if you caught it, but to see Omar Manning on the sideline with his Michael Jackson impersonation.
Yeah,
he
I
did
saw
the
your
full
video.
dance.
Yeah.
He did the full dance. He did the Michael Jackson kick. He would have moonwalk, but it was on turf.
If we get more time in there, and today we had a little bit more, but I really like to get a close look up and just see how how hard the coaches are coaching each individual guy. So the defensive backs, the corners were outside while everybody else was kind of inside, and you got a really good chance to watch Travis Fisher really dig into some guys. And
you went outside. I stayed inside. Lubick had the receivers and the
Yeah,
quarterbacks inside.
yeah.
And matter of fact, he kind of gave me the nod, like, get out of my way.
Yeah.
Because I was too close.
Did he cuss at you today?
No, he actually gave me a fist bump today. So
nice.
We were kind of in that space.
No trash talk today.
Well, no, because he, in the end, he has to see me in the hallway at home.
That's right.
So that elevator ain't very big, and sometimes you got to deal with stuff.
So I'm interested to see always the dynamics of the room, and I think Cam Taylor-Britt is certainly the unquestioned leader of that specific room, the first guy going in all the drills and stuff like that. And then it was Newsome, and then Tyreek Johnson and Braxton Clark got some coaching. So I that's always really interesting and fun to watch.
Did he get it in? We will leave this, and we will set up Lance Harvell's next. But in the meanwhile, we'll leave with this.
'Cause I know it from the start, baby, when you broke my heart, that I had to come again and show you that I win. Your love of mine. All those times I said that I love you. Your love of mine.
Follow DP and Stevens on Twitter at Derek Pearson, at 93.7 Tom Stevens. This is the DP and Stevens Show.
You decide to buy new flooring, you want it installed right away. Hi, Steve Carper from O Street Carpet. With our huge in-stock supply of carpet, tile, and vinyl, wood, and laminate flooring. You buy today and we'll install it right away. While other stores don't deliver that kind of service, we do. In fact, if you'd have purchased your flooring last week at O Street, you'd be enjoying it today.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street and ostreetcarpet.com.
Did you know that Myers Cork and Bottle is still open for walk-in business, but is now also offering citywide delivery? Learn more or place your order by calling 476-1518. And be sure to listen to Thirsty Thursday with Myers Cork and Bottle every Thursday at 4:30 on The Drive.
At Buffalo Wings and Rings, they've crafted a new league of superior chicken sandwiches. Meet the Ringers. It's premium, house-made, beer-battered, fried chicken served buffalo, Korean, or MVP style. Head to Buffalo Wings and Rings Lincoln and raise a glass to superior chicken. 2 locations at 68th and O and at 40th and Old Cheney. Buffalo Wings and Rings. Now that Ken Richards has purchased Brokers Agency, he and his professional staff will continue to provide their clients with the same excellent service under the Brokers Insurance Agency name. Brokers Insurance Agency works with more than 15 companies to help find the best policy for you to avoid any long hassles. Also, if you're looking to get into the insurance business as an independent agent, they have the formula to make that process smooth and successful. Call Ken with Brokers Insurance Agency today at 402-420-5353 or visit brokersinsurancene.com.
At Koppel, you can shop online for the most affordable crossovers, SUVs, cars, and trucks. They have new Chevrolet and GMC or used inventory, all at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Sean Callahan, and before I got my car at Koppel, I shopped online at koppelcars.com. I found a vehicle I liked, then I drove that money-saving mile to Koppel in Louisville. You should too. It was just minutes from I-80 or at koppelcars.com.
We're in this together, and we will get through this together. The vaccines are tested effective and needed.
Welcome to the clinic. Which arm?
Get your COVID-19 vaccine. so we can do this and this and this.
We are now boarding flight.
Together again, because we got through it together. This message, sponsored by the Helmsley Charitable Trust, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and the station.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Shaping up to be another hot day as the heat advisory will be in effect again this afternoon. We'll top out near 94. It will feel more over 100 due to the humidity. Winds eventually turning out the northeast at 10 to 15. We'll drop to 68 for the low tonight. Be back up to 93 tomorrow with a slight chance of evening thunderstorms. That's a check of your forecast. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
So Planet Fitness is only $10 a month with no commitment. Pretty sweet. That's $10 a month being a thumbs up emoji place. Yes, I just said thumbs up emoji. It means that you're in the judgment-free zone. That's $10 a month. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. The world judges. We don't. Planet Fitness. Be free.
2 Lincoln locations, just east of 27th and Folkways and 48th and Van Dorn.
Annual membership fee applies. Participating locations only. See club for details.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket sports news go now.
I'm Nick Sainert. In the NFL, the Indianapolis Colts announced that quarterback Carson Wentz and Quentin Nelson are both trending to play in Week 1, despite going through recent foot surgeries. Staying with the Colts, head coach Frank Reich and general manager Chris Ballard both had their contracts extended through the 2026 season. In college football, Clemson quarterback DJ Uiagalelei has partnered with Dr. Pepper for a commercial ad campaign. In the NBA, Dennis Schroeder agreed to a one-year, $5.9 million deal with the Celtics after turning down an extension worth over $80 million with the Lakers during the regular season. In Major League Baseball, the Brewers took both games of the doubleheader on Tuesday against the Cubs at Wrigley. Salvador Perez homered twice in the Royals' 8-4 win over the Yankees. The Tampa Bay Rays extended their divisional lead with an 8-4 win at Fenway Park against the Red Sox. And lastly, both Corey Seager and Max Muncy homered for Los Angeles to help them end Philadelphia's 8-game winning streak with a 5-0 shutout win on the road. For our latest sports news and updates, keep it tuned right here to 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the DP and Stevens Show, live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Derek Pearson.
Do you know who I am? I'm kind of a big deal.
Tom Stevens.
I must break you.
You're listening to the DP and Stevens Show, brought to you by Tracy's Collision Center.
Don't care. We're going to play baseball. That's it.
2-2 to Hallmark. Swings and hits one in the air. Deep left center field. Going back is Christian Franklin. And this one off the batter's eye and gone for a home run. Great stop at second base. The toss out at second. Cam Chick has done it with the bat. Here he does it with the glove.
Ron Gardner, you're going in.
Ravenboozer.
Rosenberger, warm up. Gardenhoser, Rulengroder. I never doubted him for a minute. Hey, way to go, run mucker.
Fantastic.
It's just mass silliness. I know he can't talk about it, so we can talk about it for him. I blame all of the future young recruits on Henry Rowengartner. Like it's all his fault. He's the reason it started.
That's where it started.
And all the NIL stuff, all the big money deals, all started right there with Rowengartner. Let's bring in Husker assistant Lane Tarbell. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Classic bit from. I don't think I appreciated that movie as much when I was a kid when it came out as I might now with some of those lines. Just a great baseball movie that's got a little something for everybody. You know, like kids love it, parents can watch it. There's humor in there for the parents. Great clip. Great way to start the show.
Well,
boys.
we figured out, how to handle the hot and the cold at the same time. You heat the ice. Hot ice. You heat the ice up. That takes care of it.
It's so simple. I mean, when you think about it.
Coach, it's a busy time around town. Are you back in town yet?
Yes.
Okay.
I am in town. Things are slowing down somewhat for me, just as far as my travels go. They has not slowed down on the cell phone usage. That's for sure. But that's a good thing this time of year.
Are you going to Garth? Are you going to find your way over to the stadium?
Yeah, well, I was over there, a little while ago, and I saw the structure in there. And what's happening? What's going on over there? I've been out of the loop. What's going on?
Well, Garth's performing there to a sold-out crowd of 90,000 Saturday. This Saturday, the first big event.
Garth who?
Garth Brooks, sir. Garth Brooks.
Oh, Garth Brooks.
Oh, that Garth.
Right. Yeah, I think I've got a ticket to that. I believe.
Do you have a go-to? Do you have a go-to Garth song?
Yeah, Much Too Young to Feel This Damn Old is maybe my favorite one. And we were just talking about this yesterday. In fact, I quizzed the guys in here. Kyle Perry was actually in here, and I said, "All right, what's your most underrated Garth Brooks song?" He didn't even know. His first answer out of his mouth was "Rodeo." I was like, "Get out! No, get out!
Get out!"
And Lonesome Dove is my underrated Garth song. My favorite is Much Too Young, and then my underrated one that I've seen him before. I saw him like 3 years ago down in Houston at the Toyota Center, and it was a blast. My wife and I went with a couple of our friends, and it's just a giant sing along, right? I mean, at this point in his career, it's just nothing but the classics that everybody knows, and he's probably doing the same show over and over and over that he's done, but it doesn't get old,
Well, that's what I appreciate. Yeah, that's what I appreciate about him. And he's talked about this. He's been very outspoken that he does his stuff because he knows that people want to see the classics, and a lot of artists won't do that. If I were to go through like your record collection, and I'm assuming you still have like a CD collection, record collection, how much Garth would we find in there?
You would find, I don't think I own a single CD anymore, but at one point, you would have found the original, the Garth Brooks, the original debut album that he came out with. No Fences would have been in there, and then the Double Live album probably would have been in there. That might be it. I know. I mean, once I got to the point, and this was in college, I think, when the iPods were really taking off, and you could just convert your CDs. It's just like you just kind of did it and trashed your CDs. I didn't hang on to any of them. I don't know if I should have or not, but I didn't keep any of them. So
I've got them all, much to my wife's chagrin. I mean, she doesn't like. Why would he still have these things? But I've got them all.
Yeah, I mean, that was the music I grew up listening to. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, the whole staff's going. It's gonna be a Husker baseball extravaganza.
Coach, what's the appropriate apparel? What's the appropriate gear?
Cowboy boots.
What are you doing?
100%. I'm wearing my cowboy boots, my jean skirt. I'm going to take my pearl snap, and I'm going to tie it up to where my belly shows.
Yeah, nice.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to look super cute.
Yep.
No, I got jeans and boots and I haven't looked at it's stinking hot out there right now, guys. I mean, I know I'm the Texan on the show here, the native Texan on the show, but I'm a wuss when it comes to the heat now. I got to tell you, I've assimilated quicker than I thought I ever would to the Midwest climate, and I got to look at the weather right now. I've got I'm going button down pearl snap with the sleeves rolled up, but I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to go t-shirt or something.
Look, I try to explain to people. I mean, because I left Texas I left Houston 2 years ago, right about the same time you did.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
and the day I got here, we got dumped with the biggest snow I'd seen in a while. And I thought, okay, this is what we're doing. You're about the same time in the acclimation process, and you're a coach. You're outside in it all the time. Is there that much of a difference? I mean, you're not gonna be indoors in the air condition, are you?
No. I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna be out in it, man. I'm a man of the people. I'm out in it. So I'm going to be in the elements.
Nice.
I still got the blue collar around my neck. Come on now.
We know, Coach. I'm sorry, DP, but we know you've been out on the road.
Because I don't know anybody that has a suite that I could get in there. So there's that too.
We could give you a couple phone numbers if you'd like. We know people that know people, but not like you do. Lance Harvell is our guest, Nebraska baseball assistant. We know that you've been like nonstop on the road, and it feels like there's a new commit for Nebraska baseball coming every other day. Is this the most recruits you've ever had committed to a program? I mean, over a several year span at one time.
Yeah, probably the most as you get extended out. Yeah, it's a little bit different level than what we're used to, and a lot of that is necessity. I mean, being for 7 years before I came here, I was at two mid-major programs. I mean, really good baseball programs, but you just don't recruit on the same level. And I'm not talking about level of talent, but you just don't recruit on the same level as far as how far out you get extended, with some of the early recruiting and the early commitments. And I think when you're at those places, what made us good is because we knew who we were, and we didn't try to, run with the pack that we knew we didn't belong with. I mean, like, we were real with ourselves, and we said, it's at Sam Houston State, we're like, look, no kid grows up dreaming of playing at Sam Houston State. We're not anybody's dream school. Okay. So let's get that out of the way. Now, so who can we get? What's our target audience here? And let's go find the right guys that fit who we are and then what we do. And that's why we had the success that we had there, and why we had the success that we had at Louisiana Lafayette, was because we knew who we were. Now, so you're getting guys, your early commitments at that level are guys who, are juniors in high school, or maybe coming into their junior year in high school, which is more the normal cycle anyway. And then beyond that, we just, you could go after guys, but you're just spinning your wheels, because kids are going to wait. They're not going to jump on that offer from the mid-major, maybe, because they're going to wait to see, if they're just a freshman or sophomore in high school, they're like, well, I'll wait to see, what my options might be a year from now. So you just kind of didn't bother with it, and we would find the guys that maybe got overlooked for whatever reason, or that maybe weren't just the flavor of the month, so to speak, or at one point, when they were in that kind of sophomore year, that time frame. And we were able to get really good players and put together really good teams because of it. Here now, it's just a little bit different animal. You still, like, predominantly your recruiting cycles, your classes, your commitments are still coming from the guys who, are in that, coming into their junior year in that phase. Every now and then you get guys a little bit early, but again, now we're at a place where these are a lot of guys. This is their dream school. They've grown up dreaming about playing here. So when they get that offer, maybe early on, they're gonna jump on it. And we've seen that in our time here, and especially here very recently, that's kind of been the case. And a lot of times, when you're looking at those kind of things, like we don't like really getting into that game, honestly, of the super, super early commits with, guys that are just really young. But we found ourselves here recently, we had a camp on Saturday for, guys from 8th graders through, we had guys that are going to be sophomores in junior college, show up at the camp. So we had a whole wide range of guys, and we found ourselves sitting there going, there's some talent here. Like, there's guys and obviously, if guys are showing up to camp, they already have an interest in your school. But then we're sitting there evaluating guys at camp, and then afterwards we sat here for about 2 hours, breaking it down while everybody was still fresh on our mind and going through the camp roster of guys that we like and all that. And the conversation just kind of then became, okay, yeah, this kid's good. This kid's good. I like him. He might need, a year or two of seasoning or something before we do anything. And then we kind of caught ourselves and we're like, well, if you kind of take the age away from the equation here and just strictly look at the talent that we evaluated and what some of these guys are doing there at camp, or maybe what we saw on a baseball field, if they were 2 years older, they would be a no-doubter. Like, you wouldn't even think twice about it. So it's like, well, our job is to evaluate talent and then get those guys here. That's kind of what it boiled down to for us. And for some of these younger guys that now we're getting committed, and it's kind of a, it's a good sign. We're not going to make a habit out of it. But it's a good sign that guys, from all those ages want to be here. People are seeing what we're doing, and there's momentum behind the program, and they want to jump on board. And if they're good enough, it's not our job to really, I don't want to make it a habit of recruiting guys super, super young or that far out from when they would step foot on campus. But I'm also definitely not in the business of telling kids that I think are good enough that they can't come here, when they want to. So there's a balancing act, just like in everything. There's a balancing act you have to kind of play. And when you look at, I'm staring at the recruiting board right now, and I've got 6 columns up, with from junior college guys to transfer portal guys all the way, through guys that are in the 2026 class. I mean, it just is, you got to keep an eye on it, or else you're going to get left behind, and so you also have to keep an eye on it just in terms of managing your roster from year to year, and knowing, again, you can't get in the habit or make it a standard practice to recruit guys that far out, because you're still going to recruit guys for 4 years in front of them, and then you're going to end up, with a mess on your hands if you're not careful. So, but from time to time, again, as kids pop up, and if you have some kind of phenom, I mean, I'm not really in the business of telling that type of kid no. So
it makes perfect sense, but it leads me to the question: how that talent measures against their competition? Is it the level of competition, or is it where, position of need and talent down the road?
Well, again, that's hard to predict. You can't really say it's a position of need because it's too far out to really know that. But there's some things, again, like there was, some of these kids at camp on Saturday, you're comparing them. I mean, straight, if you went to one of their games, you can't compare them to guys that are 3 or 4 years older, because they're not playing on the same field. But in a camp setting, you absolutely can do that. That's why it's so important. We push our camps so hard on guys. It's a lot of places do it because it's just a moneymaker for the coaches or something. But it's such a huge recruiting tool for us, because we can compare guys, like that. But also our entire coaching staff is here, and we can see a guy on the same day with, doing the same. So it's not I saw him this day and he was good. Well, I saw him on this day and he wasn't good. So where are you at with him? What do you do? Whereas if everybody sees him on the same day, everybody's on the same page with the kid. But yeah, you can compare him. Like I said, we could compare guys, on Saturday that are, in 8th. I mean, I think we had like 3 or 4 kids that are going to be 8th graders, and 2 guys that are going into their sophomore year in junior college. We can compare those, and everywhere in between, and that's kind of what I was saying. A couple kids, you look at their metrics and what they're doing and size and everything, and you're going, if that kid was about to be a sophomore, this wouldn't even be a question. And some of these guys are doing things at such an early age now, You can't deny that. You can't deny what they're doing. And so, again, if you project those things, I mean, we've committed guys that are older that aren't as good. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that don't have the same metrics as maybe a kid that's even younger, but yet we project those guys out. And it's still going to be really good. So, it was kind of a benefit for us specifically, at our camp, where we could compare it to guys in older age groups, older classifications, or guys that have, like I said, guys that are already in college and been through it. We can compare them directly to those guys. So that's more of that's where it makes it a little bit easier to maybe pull the trigger on somebody like, on somebody that's younger,
It makes sense to me. Having the conversation, Tom and I kind of laughed when the game is changing across the board. I just kind of imagine what I would have been like had I been made an offer in ninth grade, or had name, image, and likeness opportunities in ninth grade. Me and all of my friends would have had all the pizza we could stand, and I would have a new pair of tennis shoes every day of the week. That's kind of how that
you do anyway.
Well, that's where it starts. That's where it came from. All right, Coach.
The only offer I was even remotely thinking about in ninth grade was maybe like a date or something. That was about it. Having an offer to play college baseball somewhere was so far removed from my mind. You're right. I mean, it was just a different time, but you got to adapt.
Coach? What's the youngest kid you've ever seen offered? How young?
Youngest kid I've ever seen. I think I want to say somebody offered like a seventh grader, there was a football
quarterback
scholarship offer.
Quarterback, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think there was a seventh grader. That's what popped up in my mind. I can't remember the school or what the kid was, but
Florida State.
I think it was. Was that it?
Yeah, it was Florida State. They offered a seventh grade quarterback back in the day, and it made perfect sense. It made perfect sense.
Yep.
So when is the whole team in town, Coach?
Next week. Guys will start rolling in, move in day, and it'll be good to see their bright, shining faces.
Well, yeah, I like the way you said that, and I'm pretty sure if there was a camera, there'd be a huge smile on your face. Listen, enjoy, Garth. Be safe, hydrate. Remember to hydrate, and stay in your vocal range. We do not need you with a strained vocal cord next week.
No, I'm glad to do the show on Wednesday. If it had been a Monday show, I'm letting it all out.
Nice.
There's moderation is for cowards. I think you guys understand that about me at this point.
We love it.
So,
we love it.
I'm gonna try to come by the studio next week. So
please do.
I got a gift for you guys.
You got an open invitation, especially with gifts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or food.
Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, Coach. Enjoy the concert, and then we'll talk to you. I'll probably talk to you before the concert, though.
All right, y'all enjoy that sweet.
Get out of here! Stop telling us out. Stop telling secrets. That's Lance Harvell, Huskers baseball assistant.
Don't believe it for a second. That guy could find a suite.
What are you talking about? He's got more money than both of us. What are you talking about?
Absolutely. Yeah. It is interesting. He couldn't mention the name. His name's Noah Madsen. He's a pitcher. He's a 2023. Actually, that's the latest. There was another one. Who's the younger player that Bo is his name from Kansas? And I've lost it here.
I don't know.
Nebraska just had two commits, but the eighth grader that we were talking about is a 2026 commit, and his name is Bo Peterson from Shawnee, Kansas. He's 6 foot 180. Then he's gotten great reviews from Perfect Game. He's already thrown in the mid 80s, but he's 14 years old. And I like what Lance said. Hey, I'm not going to turn it down if he wants to come. I don't want to make a practice of it, but if this is his dream school and he wants to come to Nebraska, more power to him.
Well, if a kid, I mean, and his dad's a big part of this. His dad was also making it clear that, well, listen, he's not just a pitcher. He's just not just a pitcher. This is somebody that plays the game. I think that the weekend they saw him, he went 15 for 18 at the plate. So yeah, guess what? If you know, you know. They knew, and that's what it was. So we're cool with that.
I'm totally cool with it.
Yeah, let's get out of here. What's next?
Who do we have next?
Chris
Oh yeah,
Baston.
we have Chris Baston, who was supposed to be on earlier in the show, has been gracious enough to go at 1:30. So Chris from the Lincoln Journal-Star, we'll talk to him next.
More of the DP and Steven Show is coming your way on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Shaping up to be another hot day as a heat advisory will be in effect again this afternoon. We'll top out near 94. It will feel more over 100 due to the humidity. Winds eventually turning out the northeast at 10 to 15. We'll drop to 68 for the low tonight. Be back up to 93 tomorrow with a slight chance of evening thunderstorms. That's a check of your forecast. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
So Planet Fitness is only $10 a month with no commitment. Pretty sweet. That's $10 a month to be in a thumbs up emoji place. Yes, I just said thumbs up emoji. It means that you're in the judgment-free zone. That's $10 a month. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. The world judges. We don't. Planet Fitness. Be free.
2 Lincoln locations, just east of 27th and Folkways and 48th and Van Dorn.
Annual membership fee applies. Participating locations only. See club for details.
Is it time to replace your home's heating and cooling system? Here's a tip. Call Bryant. Hi, folks. Greg Schaff here, the voice of the Huskers. Your friends at Bryant offer some of the most efficient and high-tech equipment available while still offering you the options of good, better, and best. Please remember, Bryant gives you a full 24-month satisfaction guarantee. Now that's comfort. Call Bryant. Schedule a free, no-obligation comfort match estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
At Koppel, you can shop online for the most affordable crossovers, SUVs, cars, and trucks. They have new Chevrolet and GMC or used inventory, all at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Sean Callahan, and before I got my car at Koppel, I shopped online at koppelcars.com. I found a vehicle I liked, then I drove that money-saving mile to Koppel in Louisville. You should too. It was just minutes from I-80 or at koppelcars.com.
Well, I'm an interior designer. A lot of builders don't have designers on staff. I'm included with our Aspen package and can make your home more custom to your taste, your needs, and your wants.
Rachel's our interior designer at Aspen Builders. She's one of the reasons that makes us really good at what we do. I'm Bob Benish, and we absolutely love how Rachel takes care of our clients.
I think the biggest challenge with building is a lot of clients are worried about all the choices. When they come in, they kind of have a deer in the headlights look. I like to ask people at the end, so what did you think? And usually they pause and they say, you know, you really broke it up, kept it simple. We just did one meeting at a time, so I wasn't looking at all the decisions I had to make. I had plenty of time to decide things. You walked me through it all. It made it simple.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
We're out to prove that having a face for radio is just a myth, and you can decide for yourself by watching all of our shows on 93.7 The Ticket on the new video stream, sponsored by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Now you can watch Early Break, DP and Stevens, The Recruiting Hour, The Drive, and more on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube every day and in real time. Watch 93.7 The Ticket shows today and every day on the Sartor Heyman Jewelers video stream on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube.
Amigo's new Crunchadilla has the crunch you'll crave. Your taste buds will come alive when you bite into this crispy salsa tortilla that's loaded with melted pepper jack and cheddar, along with your choice of taco meat, Southwest chicken, or grilled chicken. The deliciousness continues with bacon bits, Amigos famous ranch, fresh pico de gallo, and crispy tortilla strips. This Crunchadilla is a grab-and-go meal all by itself. Conquer your cravings with the Crunchadilla, only at Amigos. Taco making is a team sport. Here at Amigos, we want you to join our roster of the most talented taco artists in Nebraska. When you work at Amigos, you'll be on a team of people who have each other's backs. We offer a fast-paced, friendly work environment and flexible scheduling to fit your busy life. Join our team, meet your Amigos, and become a customer service expert, all while furthering your career. Be Amigos. Apply today at AmigosKings.com.
Back to the DP and Steven Show, brought to you by Tracy's Collision Center on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying our next guest is heroic because
Heroic?
Well, he was trying to do a stand-up with Sipple, and there were motorcycles driving by, and just to watch the facial expressions.
Stand-up comedy with
Well, no, he was just doing a stand-up. He and Sipple
Okay.
were doing a little
Doing their thing.
Husker extra business.
Sure.
And then as things happen, noise and distractions happen, and then your professionalism is gauged by your response. And he was stellar. He was
That's right.
professional.
Never let him see you sweat. Right, Chris?
Professional.
Never.
First time
let
I've ever
them
been called professional. DP, I appreciate that. Thank
First
you.
time for everything.
Yeah.
That's nice. I can't believe that. Chris Bassett of the Lincoln Journal-Star. We were just talking about, obviously, you couldn't mention his name, Lance Harvell. We were talking about Husker baseball, but they just got a commit from an 8th grader, and his name is Bo Peterson from Shawnee, Kansas. Is that the youngest recruit you've ever seen commit to any program at Nebraska?
Yeah, I think it has to be. I'm sure the volleyball team has had a few, 14-year-olds, in that age range commit in the past. But yeah, 13 years old going into his 8th grade year. That's about as young as it gets, I think, for any sport. So yeah, pretty wild news to come out last night.
Chris, what we want to know, the important stuff. Had you been offered a scholarship at
Sure.
age 14, and then with name, image, and likeness out there, and let's say that somehow there's like $5,000 cash, you at Chris Bassett at age 14, what would have been top of the spending list for you?
Yeah, golf clubs.
Probably a sweet new used car. Since I was on my learner's permit, living out in the middle of nowhere in Nebraska, I probably would have bought something very stupid to put in the car I was getting ready to drive, or bought a very stupid car.
Uh-huh.
That's what we all did. Mine was a lime green Camaro. If you could,
Nice.
I love that. I had a 1981 Ford Thunderbird. So.
Oh, nice.
Chick magnet car.
Oh yeah, the vinyl seats, the mag rims.
Yeah, Zeppelin 4
Had a
playing in
CB
the
radio
background.
in it.
Yeah, there you go. CB radio.
I'm not even lying, DP. It actually had a CB radio in it.
I was gonna say mine had 8-track, and that's he said C.
I was
There you
calling out
go.
truckers on the highway driving to school.
There you go.
breaker 19.
Breaker 19.
Nothing but class. Nothing but class.
Oh, that's so good. That's
that
so
is
good. Oh my
That is
goodness. Oh, so in a busy day at Memorial, in a busy weekend. First of all, are you going to Garth?
I'm not going to Garth. No, I will. I get to come down to a crowded downtown Lincoln for free 7 times a year for football games, so I'm not going to pay to come to a crowded downtown Lincoln to watch a concert.
Amen, brother. Amen. The Huskers had some movement at practice today, and I got excited because the moment I saw Jacques Yant at fullback in short yardage, I got all emotional. Like I thought. Maybe we've broken.
Tearing up? Were you tearing up?
Yeah, like maybe because there was Jan at fullback. They had Marquis Stepp at tailback, and they ran a dive, and it was exceptional. Like I felt like I was connected to football at its purest. What would that mean to you that they would use a big back in front of a tailback this fall in that stadium?
It's funny you say that, DP. When Ohio State came in here a couple years ago, they lined up in the eye, and the crowd reaction was as though Tom Osborne himself had walked onto the field and was calling plays again for Nebraska. So, no, it's cool. It kind of it harkens back to old school Nebraska, right? Like that's what it was. It was two backs. It was get big. It was punish your opponents up front and beat them into submission. And I'm not saying Nebraska's going to line up in the eye and do that 40 or 50 times a game or whatever. But if that's something you can mix into your offense, and if you feel like you have the personnel to mix that into your offense more than you have in the past, then that's a pretty good sign for that offense, right? Like you've got the ability to get big. You've got the ability to get physical, and you've got the ability to throw some different formations out there and have some success with it. So, yeah, it's fun. And we joke about it's great to have the fullback back and everything. But at the end of the day, if Nebraska's got the personnel to run that stuff, that's huge for that offense because that means they've got some different options to work with.
Chris Bassinet of the Lincoln Journal-Star is our guest. It feels like every year about this time we say, I'm not buying the Kool-Aid. I need to see it. It's prove it time. And yet the Kool-Aid starts to spill out a little bit. Are you buying any of it?
Not yet. I'm pretty boring. I need to see it. I think Nebraska will be better. I think they're more talented. I think they're deeper. I think their quarterback is in a good space, both physically and mentally. That's always an important thing. So I've kind of tried to steel myself against that over the years, drinking too much of the Kool-Aid. I might take a little sip every now and then, but I think that there's so much riding on that first game against Illinois. And we've talked about that before, the importance of that game. So let's see what it looks like against Illinois. And if Nebraska goes out against the Illini and performs really well, puts together a good performance, wins that game, then maybe I'll drink a little bit more of the Kool-Aid as to what this season could be. But just with how difficult and how important that first game is, I need to see it against a Big Ten opponent before I believe it.
Chris, but that conversation about Adrian, that all like this year, the conversation is how beat up and out of shape he was. How in the world was that allowed to happen? Like, why was that not story one every week last year?
It's a great question, DP. I don't know. He was just such an important part of what they had to do last year to even be competitive. And I think everybody kind of knew that he was beat up and that he wasn't 100% and that it wasn't a lot of fun for him. But there was also a lot of other stuff going on last year too, that made maybe push that story down a little bit. And so it's funny. We almost take Adrian for granted a little bit, I think, because he's been here for so long and he's been in the spotlight, since day one as a freshman, stepping onto this campus. I can still remember the first time he spoke to the media and we were just blown away by his maturity and his ability to stand in there and answer questions. And it's been like that, seems like forever. And it almost just becomes an everyday thing where we're talking about Adrian and some stuff probably gets glossed over from time to time. And that's not fair to Adrian, certainly, but I think that's the reality of it. He's been such a mainstay in this program and such a constant piece of this program under Scott Frost that I think it's easy sometimes to just kind of overlook him a little bit, as weird as that is to say.
I think in any program, the quarterback is obviously going to be in the spotlight, but I can't remember a time outside of maybe Russell Wilson that you thought of, an Iowa quarterback or a Wisconsin quarterback being the marquee player. But it's always been that way, even under Bo Pelini, where they were winning 9 or 10 games every year, about, Taylor Martinez or Tommy Armstrong or Joe Gans, or now it's Adrian Martinez. I almost feel like Nebraska, if they were less a focal point on the quarterback and they were running the football, that maybe more success would follow. Do you ever feel that way?
Yeah, I think that's true, and that's what makes part of this season so interesting. Is can they run the football with somebody not named Adrian Martinez? And Ryan Hill seems to feel pretty good about what he has at his position right now at running back. And if Nebraska's able to do that, then look, that's better for everybody. That's better for Adrian because it saves wear and tear on him. It saves maybe putting some pressure on Adrian's shoulders that, hey, I have to go out and I have to carry it 17 times in a game or whatever it may be. and maybe he doesn't have to worry about that as much, and maybe that frees him up to do other things in the passing game or manage the offense more efficiently or what have you. So yeah, there's no doubt a great running game helps any quarterback, and that doesn't matter if it's Adrian Martinez or if it's Patrick Mahomes or who it is. It doesn't matter. If you can run the ball effectively, then it just takes so much pressure off that position. So yeah, if Nebraska's able to do that this year, then I think you see Adrian have a really great year, because I think you see a lot of the pressure kind of lift off his shoulders.
Chris, today was a load management day for the tight end position. Is that a thing of concern?
I think it is right now, until we know for certain, why the loads are being managed, so to speak. It's tough to get any real concrete information about stuff like that out of this program, and that's perfectly fine. That's their decision. But look, those two guys, Austin Allen, Travis Vokolek, we've been hearing for how many months now that they're going to be counted on, and they're professional type prospects, and they're going to play a lot of football, and they're getting more targets and all this sort of thing. And then we show up to practice this morning and they're out there practicing. So yeah, it's a concern until we know it's not a concern, I think is the best way to put it, because those guys, I think, are going to be counted on pretty heavily. And what you have behind them is relatively unproven and relatively thin, with Thomas Fidone still recovering from ACL surgery and some unproven guys outside of that. So yeah, until we know for certain what it looks like with those two guys, I think it's something that certainly you have to keep in the back of your mind going forward these next couple of weeks.
Chris, we're going to miss you at Garth. We were looking forward to the big belt buckle and the cowboy boots and the hat and the rhinestones. It was going to be fantastic.
I've got an impossibly tight pair of Wranglers I could have pulled out to wear to that.
No,
and you'll probably be glad I'm not doing it. So count your blessings.
No,
we're no. That's what my wife says when I try to put them on. No. What are you doing?
No, please. No more.
Please stop.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you next
Good
week.
Stuff.
Oh,
Thanks.
Yeah, just say
There you go. Chris Passionate of the Lincoln Journal-Star. I think he would have fit right in at Garth night on Saturday night, but
say no.
It's not going to happen, it looks like. Very disappointing. Just say no.
Just say
Let's get to the leftovers. We'll eat those to end the show next.
You're listening to the DP and Stevens Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Is it time to replace your home's heating and cooling system? Here's a tip. Call Bryant. Hi, folks. Greg Schaff here, the voice of the Huskers. Your friends at Bryant offer some of the most efficient and high-tech equipment available, while still offering you the options of good, better, and best. Please remember, Bryant gives you a full 24-month satisfaction guarantee. Now that's comfort. Call Bryant. Schedule a free, no-obligation comfort match estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Beat the heat and save on a new cooling system from John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Combine new system rebates and LES incentives to save up to $2,500. Don't wait until your old system breaks down in the middle of summer. Take advantage of these great offers and beat the heat. Go to jhlincoln.com or give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Amigo's new Crunchadilla has the crunch you'll crave. Your taste buds will come alive when you bite into this crispy salsa tortilla that's loaded with melted pepper jack and cheddar, along with your choice of taco meat, Southwest chicken, or grilled chicken. The deliciousness continues with bacon bits, Amigo's famous ranch, fresh pico de gallo, and crispy tortilla strips. This Crunchadilla is a grab-and-go meal all by itself. Conquer your cravings with the Crunchadilla, only at Amigo's. Taco making is a team sport. Here at Amigos, we want you to join our roster of the most talented taco artists in Nebraska. When you work at Amigos, you'll be on a team of people who have each other's backs. We offer a fast-paced, friendly work environment and flexible scheduling to fit your busy life. Join our team, meet your amigos, and become a customer service expert, all while furthering your career. Be amigos. Apply today at AmigosKings.com.
Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, are you there?
I sure am, Charlie. Great to talk to you again.
Andy, I know you're selling a lot of cars right now, but I hear you still have a lot of cars available.
We do, Charlie. In fact, we still have over 500 new 2021 Hondas to choose from in stock or on the way, with 0% APR financing available on select models.
What about new 2022 Hondas, Andy?
You know, we actually have quite a few in stock already, and they're arriving every day.
Now, I'm going to assume since you're selling a lot of new cars, you have some great trade-ins available too. How is the selection of pre-owned?
It's the largest selection of pre-owned we've ever had, Charlie, with over 100.
Can anybody hear me in the studio?
People can choose from just about any make and model you can imagine.
Thanks, Andy. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest thing about getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. Drivewise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You knew the risks when you decided to drive drunk. There could be a crash. People could get hurt or killed. But that didn't stop you, did it? You knew you could get arrested. You could incur huge legal expenses, and you could possibly even lose your job. You were well aware of the consequences of driving drunk. But one thing's for sure, you were wrong when you said it was no big deal. Drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by NHTSA.
Don't you feel so free out here on the lake?
Not as free as this soda.
Where'd you get free soda?
Casey's. Buy 4 fountain drinks, 5th one's free.
I love free.
Well, then you'll love this. Bought this jerky, got this free donut.
I love free donuts.
With Casey's Summer of Freedom sweepstakes, the more you buy, the more you can win, including free Lee Brice concert tickets. Casey's, here for good. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. For official rules, visit Casey's.com.
We're out to prove that having a face for radio is just a myth, and you can decide for yourself by watching all of our shows on 93.7 The Ticket on the new video stream, sponsored by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Now you can watch Early Break, DP and Stevens, The Recruiting Hour, The Drive, and more on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube every day and in real time. Watch 93.7 The Ticket shows today and every day on the Sartor Heyman Jewelers video stream on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Back to the DP and Stevens Show, brought to you by Tracy's Collision Center on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Always puts me in a good mood.
Works every time, doesn't it?
Puts me in a good mood. I just see Magic Johnson dancing in his office. I see, Pharrell with his oversized hat. It's just good all the way around.
It'd be interesting to be inside your brain just for a day.
Yeah,
see what goes on up there.
You don't want to go in there,
but you're usually in a pretty good mood. That's for sure.
You don't want to.
I'll miss you. This is for those who don't know. This is our last show together. Ever.
Yeah, except for when it's not, But it's
except for when we do shows together, except for those times.
Yeah, but it's the last DP and Stevens show.
That's right. It's the last DP and Stevens show. So it's a little sad for me today. You're moving on to greener pastures in the afternoon.
What?
The Drive. Yeah, not really.
Okay,
but you're moving on to the Drive in the afternoon, 3 to 6 every single day. Jay Foreman going to be part of that, and it's going to be a great show.
Should we keep that name? Should we keep the Drive just with Jay and DP?
I don't know. What are you going to call it? What other ideas you got?
Well, I mean, so Becky, she's a marketer, so she's like, no, the Drive has cachet, so you should just call it the Drive with Jay and DP. And I'm like, okay, gee, well, okay. Do I get to go to a football game or not? Like that.
Well, it is a Drive. It
Right?
is it makes sense to call it the drive, and it's what you're doing at that time if you're headed home from work, I'm guessing.
So
I like that.
I think we'll end up with, as long as Connor gives us permission to still use it, then we will still use it.
I'm going to steal a lot of the stuff from this show. It works. So
just tell me what you want.
I'm taking it. I'm taking it when you're not looking. So there you go.
I gave you the keys already. Come
That's
on.
right. You already gave me the
Take what
keys.
you want.
Permission to steal.
Yes, sir.
Let's eat the leftovers.
I'd like to be alone with the sandwich for a moment.
Are you going to eat it?
Yes.
The Leftovers with DP and Stevens.
I found this interesting. Seth Reeves, he won't defend his Pinnacle Bank championship this week at Omaha at Indian Creek. That's on the Corn Ferry Tour because he's having a baby. Now, no athlete would miss the World Series if their wife's having a baby, right? Or they would not miss the Super Bowl. Or if this were a major, he wouldn't miss it, right?
Players have missed. I mean, depends on what your priority and focus is. I can think of a bunch of players who skipped a big event because your child is being born.
But Tom Brady ain't missing the Super Bowl. He's not. I don't care if Giselle is.
But they plan better than that.
That's true.
That's just better planning. Like
that is probably true.
You don't think that Tom didn't procreate knowing what the child's birthday and sex was going to be? Like he knew that in advance.
That's right. I'm sorry. I'd like to have relations with you, but there's a Super Bowl in 362 days.
Yeah, like no, we got to do this properly. No, it comes up every now and then.
Right.
For a local for a tournament that matters, yes, it's important to be there, but it's more important to be there when your child's being born.
Yep, there you go. I was watching BTN the other day. They had Nebraska Classics. It's weird what passes for a Classics game, but they had the Nebraska Alamo Bowl game where Nebraska beat Michigan 32-28. It was Bill Callahan's only win, I believe, in a bowl game. Does that qualify as a classic? Have you seen that game?
You beat Michigan.
Yeah, you did beat Michigan.
You beat Michigan. Like I think that's the only win against. Was that the only win against Michigan?
No, Nebraska
Okay.
beat Michigan under Bo Pelini.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
there you go.
But any win against Michigan's a classic.
Yeah, and they had a lot of talent on that team, but it was a good win. Corey Ross, Terrence Nunn had big TDs in that game. It was fun to watch. I enjoyed
a win
revisiting.
over Michigan is a classic.
That's right. We talked about this briefly. I don't want to do the alternate jersey thing because it's a hoax. Brett Maher signs with the New Orleans Saints. He's on the practice squad, but he did make 3 field goals, which was a record. I think still is over 60 yards when he was with the Cowboys. Does he feel like a starting kicker again in the NFL?
Leg is leg. Leg transfers. Legs transfer, man. And I don't want him in Dallas, but I understand you got to get paid how you get paid. So yeah, if you can go 60, you can go 60.
The Celtics have signed Dennis Schroeder. Of course, he turned down that $80 million deal with the Lakers during the regular season last year. He's getting $6 million from the Celtics. How good will he be for the Celtics?
He's the perfect new Rondo 2.0. It's perfect. It's perfect.
And he's cheap. I like that.
Well, he's cheaper than Rondo. He's cheaper than Rondo currently. So how about that?
Yep. I guess we're leaving.
Yeah,
we'll see each other again, though. Last show of DP and Stevens. The recruiting hour is on the way next. Have yourself a great day.
Love you, bro.
Love you, man.
Did you know Myers Cork and Bottle offers